Tim terakhir dari Malaysia.
Bener, tim tuan rumah ya yang tersisa. Dan
the story of Skylar, right? He's leading the way for a bunch of newer kids on the block and getting the job done and has made it very far.
Let me just say, Skylar is really showing up as a leader, as a veteran, because yes, this team is built around him. And I gotta say, they have been working out very, very well. But for now, we have a video by R7, Words for Skylar. Let's check it out.
Halo Skylar, semangat ya nanti pertandingan M6-nya. Semoga bisa memberikan hasil yang terbaik. Fokus, percaya tim, dan ingat, tim yang kuat itu tidak pernah takut lawan siapapun.
A strong team is never scared of anybody. It's like me, I'm not scared to wear 2 pins, because I can. It's that mentality. It's that mentality.
You even have them kind of off, you know? Like
hey, you know what? Just
you have really? 2 watches on too?
Don't challenge me.
Oh.
Don't challenge me.
Look what you started. Normally it's 2 watches. Today it's 2 pins.
I got 2 rings.
Leo's got 2 watches on over here. Where's your second watch?
It's not sponsored by Fairy.
I really like your pocket thing though.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's not mine.
Well, it looks nice.
It does look nice.
Speaking of nice words coming in from R7, trusting the team and never scared of anyone, which I kind of feel like both these teams should not be afraid of each other, because RRQ as well as SRG, I would say RRQ is the more aggressor compared to SRG, where SRG so far, the early game hasn't always been the best, but somehow at that 8 to 10 minute mark, they pick up steam.
Yeah, RRQ, they're definitely able to get the job done. Putting Skylar in a position where he can get comfortable in the gold lane is really where it's going to start. When you look at SRG, even their matches yesterday, right, looked a little shaky in the beginning, but they're able to pick up the pieces and follow through. So today, we got to see a lot of metals going to be tested and who's going to be able to withstand that battle.
Speaking of which, Skylar, the king, will be going up against the half-man, half-beast, Innocent. This is going to be an intense matchup of the gold laners, which, Trax, maybe you were the one that had pointed out that this M6, the gold laners, everyone's really stepping up.
Yeah, I feel like all of the gold laners have been, at least all the ones who are left, you know, have really been popping off. It is heavily reliant. So many drafts have been around gold laner and of course jungle as well, but gold laners have definitely been the stars. We've seen Savages, Maniacs aren't even that big of a deal anymore. They just happen on the regular. I mean, it's definitely been an interesting evolution through M6.
Yeah, at this point, I really don't know who's the favorite. Is it the king? Is it the beast? Because again, like, if you look at numbers for M6, Skylar's doing quite well. Innocent has some losses here and there, but when he's popping off, he's popping off. Heck, yesterday with the Granger, dealing over 100,000 damage.
Yeah, with Skylar, right? His first appearance in the M Series was M3. You got to see him just develop even further as he stepped into M4, and then, you know, here we are, M6, leading a bunch of young players and getting the job done when necessary. But you've seen a lot of humbleness when it comes to the teams being on their head-to-heads, right? When they have to get their player interviews, they don't want to expose too much. Even some of the interviews yesterday, we saw SRG. They were holding a lot of information.
I mean, like, here's the thing, man. This is now, funny enough, except for RRQ, everyone is champions, right? Everyone understands that they're going up against the best in the business. So the thing is, if you want to talk big, you got to back it up first. So I feel like everyone has that mentality. I can say whatever I want to say, but only after I win, not before.
Fair enough. When you're down to this level, the talking's over. Right?
Yeah, the talking's over.
Like, talking's over. Put your money where your mouth is. Walk the walk. Because the last thing you want to do in top 4 is, you know, talk a big game and then get swept.
Yeah, so this is stressful, right? Because last ticket here, RRQ and SRG. Like, if you want to be champions, one game at a time, and this game is very crucial because if not, your final game will be at IOI, not seeing the Axiata Arena.
Yeah.
Did you think that we would see RQ SRG lower bracket fighting for final life? Like when I was thinking about like final 4, things like that, this was not on my bingo card at all. The fact that it's RQ against SRG, you know, champion against RQ, a team that wants this so bad. It's definitely it's sad, but it's fun, it's exciting, and it's all of that mixed into one match.
I think with this M Series, it caught a lot of people off guard, right? It was the age of the upsets in the beginning, from the wild cards all the way through the Swiss stage, And then now here we are in the knockout phase. Everybody full of surprises, and we're just getting started, right? We haven't even made it to Oxiata. We've seen so many amazing regions competed out. EECA, a little bit of a flashback, looking like an M5 Prime again as they step into a top 4 prospect, and now we get to see who will claim that remaining seat.
I was trying to balance it out. I still can't. Maybe I need some kind of mirror.
I'll help you later. I gotcha.
I just don't know if I need, you know what? Screw it. I'll figure it out later. I'll figure it out later. Now, jumping into this matchup, we definitely see the goal lane is going to be very, very important. Skylar as well as Innocent. But honestly, looking at the EXP lane, I'm looking at Cram, and Cram has been disrupting the backline quite a lot of times. If he somehow gets the Hilda again, if he starts getting that Hilda, I don't know how well Skylar can play. But that's the thing. We got to see if he gets the hero. We got to see how the kids perform on stage. And with that, right now, I can't wait for both teams to come up on stage, because here I'm looking at the stage, and you know what I see? I honestly cannot because it's dark. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'm pretty sure they're standing behind there.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a challenge. When it was SRG competing yesterday, we saw them struggle a little bit in the early game, but we noticed a little bit of a pattern, right? They were able to disrupt their opponent and force them to separate, and then that's when you got to see Cram be able to rush into the back line, be able to create chaos and take over the match. And one of the things that really stood out was just one mistake was all that it took to pretty much turn the game in your favor and close it out.
Yeah.
Now that's one of the things I like about SRG is it doesn't feel like it's just the gold laner, right? It doesn't feel like it's one player that has to carry everything. I feel like the whole team, everyone brings a little bit of something to the package, and if RRQ wants to win this match, I think that's what's really important for them, right? It can't just be Skylar. It has to be the rest of the team needs to step up. The whole team needs to be able to work as a unit, and if Skylar can't carry, someone else needs to step up to the plate.
Speaking of stepping up, do you want to see them step up on stage? I'm sure you do. Looking at your faces, you guys are ready. Hopefully you guys are all ready, because let's introduce SRG as well as RRQ onto the stage.
This team has once graced the place where legends were born. One win is all it takes for the King of Kings to return where they belong. Viva RRQ Hoshi!
On their backs, they carry the hope of an entire nation. The kingdom is but a stop for the end of the Golden Road is their ultimate destination. Make some noise for Sangalore Red Giants!
And now to introduce the brains behind the bronze, Coach Keskune as well as Coach NNM for RRQ, and for SRG, Coach Arcadia as well as Coach Ozora Vecchi. This is going to be an intense match, because for all the matches we've seen in M6, the drafts are very pivotal for their victory, for their success. So now, Selangor Red Giants, they want that golden road. RRQ, they want to go back to Oxiata to get the win that they missed the first time.
I like it. We're coming in strong. The match is inching closer now in terms of draft, because that's what we're going to be jumping into. What do we think? You know, the big debate right now has been red side,
Yeah.
blue side.
Hey.
What do we think these teams are going to be aiming for?
I'm colorblind, man.
Oh, yes.
For me-
first pick, second pick.
Second one. Second one. I feel like second pick is great. But it's definitely a team-by-team kind of thing. But
Fair.
right now we have an M-chat. And I believe we were able to talk to Innocent because we were curious on his take on the meta right now. So we asked, how did the team get better at using the meta heroes? And he said, actually, we have used those heroes in scrims, but we were losing because we didn't know how to maximize their potential. Hopefully we're doing better now. And then we just like, cool king.
Cool king.
Yeah.
Well, they're definitely doing better. I mean, even Coach stated after winning MSC, there was a lot of pressure on their backs and expectations that were growing. And now, you know, the reigning champs from MSC trying to earn another title, trying to earn that golden road. And this is one of those hurdles they'll have to jump through to earn a spot in Oxiata up against RRQ Hoshi.
Not gonna lie, there's a lot of matchups here that we have to watch. Like from MPLMY, Sakis have met against Susujin quite a few times when Susujin was in KGE. And so far, in most of the matchups, Sakis has been winning that one. But ever since then, I gotta tell you guys, since Susujin entered RRQ, his growth has been amazing. His hero pool is wide. If anyone can take down Sakis, I believe Susujin is definitely one of them.
Yeah, it's definitely a big matchup, right? And Susujin has been one of the few junglers who we still see willing to fall back to those assassin picks. In a meta right now that's dominated by things like Suyo, Joy, and Alpha or Fredrin. He's still very willing to pull out the Ling. He's still very willing to jump onto the Hayabusa. And we also know Sekai's has some of those picks in his pocket as well. So in a best of 5, I think we could definitely see something of that nature as the games creep on.
And now we're jumping straight into the drafting phase. The first game of this matchup, RRQ will be first pick, Selangor Giants will be on the second pick, and we talked about it, and Hilda immediately banned out.
There goes the Hilda, there goes the Cho as well. Zushin on the other side. You know what was such a major threat? The Joy. We've seen it rise to the occasion time and time again. Multiple teams putting it in the jungle, some putting it inside of the mid lane, but still getting the job done, and I think it's about time to put some respect on it.
Yeah, heck, some even putting it into the XP lane at times. Matilda out of the way, with Suyo still open, Yi still open, Bruno still open, Joy still open, so many things still on the field.
Here's the thing, man, because this is, when you open up the game, the first game in the best of 5 is always about risk, and then it's all about learning as well what your opponent's got. And we're talking about the best goal laners here in M6, Skylar as well as Innocent. Letting go of that Bruno is going to be very risky.
Well, Coach Arcadia said that instead of banning the Bruno, he plans to work around it. We got to see it yesterday, and now we get to see it again possibly today. As you see, they are second in this pick, and I don't think they're going to ban it out. I think they're going to be willing to let that walk, and there we go. The Fanny will be taken off the board, which should be a Bruno pickup for RRQ. But are they going to fall into the hands of Coach Arcadia?
And now apparently we have a fun fact here for Skylar. Skylar dragged the team to a haunted house once, but got scared, while Edok scared the ghost instead.
Okay.
I guess Edok's a scary guy,
man. Edok's a scary guy. Have you seen his Cho? He probably kicked the ghost in the face.
Hey, if I was a ghost, I'd be like, oh damn, I have a sprint, not a purify.
There you go.
There you go. And the Suyo gets picked up here. So SRG, we've seen this yesterday. When the Suyo and Bruno was open, they decided not to pick it up. Against RRQ here, what is the plan?
I mean, against RRQ, if I'm SRG right now, I'm definitely looking for a Joy at some point in this first phase. That's my thought, at least. Maybe not first and second, but into third. You pick up the Bruno, you pick up the Gatot, and then you maybe look for a Joy endgame. RRQ, maybe they go for the counterplay and slot in a Joy mid and say no counter for you today.
And hold on, we have a fun fact here. Innocent boasts a perfect 100% win rate with Bruno across 3 games. Will that number continue?
We'll have to see. I mean, so far the Arcadia special, right? They don't ban out the Bruno, and they know that the first team's not going to pick it up. Just off of seeing their previous matches, they know how to work around it, which guarantees them a Bruno on the second pick swing. It's pretty much genius at that. But now we're looking at RRQ Hoshi. They are going to go ahead and pick up this glue. You have the Gatat on the other side. We still have yet to really see the mid lane matchups, right?
You know, if they don't decide to go for the Joy here and it gets banned out, I could see them still, like we've been seeing the Bane get picked up a little bit. We've been seeing some other possibilities get picked up, other, you know, fightery guys that can at least hang in the pit with Suyo. So maybe they lock in mid or something here, pick up the Yve or something like that early on.
All right, time to drop the beat of the
They keep it safe. They keep it safe.
You know one thing that's actually smart about this Granger pick, not only is it good against the Bruno, but it's also good against one of Stormy's bigger picks this M6, which is the Lu Yi, where you can open up the map so you don't have that kind of surprise. So by picking up this hero, in a way, you kind of ban out the Lu Yi, and even if the Lu Yi gets picked up, he has ways to fight against it.
Yeah, definitely can be a threat. There goes that Joy we were talking about, though. They need a little bit more to kind of slow it down in its tracks. Yes, we have the glue, but other than that, the Joy has just been such a strong pick, and just some excellent reading from SRG so far. We got to see the mid laner matchup, though. If they do try and go in for this E for RRQ, there's a lot of challenges, a lot of threats that could be a problem. First of all, the Joy getting to the back line, the AOG coming in from this Gatot as well could be a major threat.
I like the jaw headband because you want Skies to have as free of a game as possible, because we've seen junglers, amazing junglers, just get stopped by one crowd control and then that's it. That's GG. So maybe we were gonna look at a Tigreal ban as well, perhaps.
No, Tigreal ban's definitely possible. Tigreal ban, I mean, Tig could really kind of work comfortably for
I guess
either
SRG
side.
could pick it up.
SRG could pick it up. The jaw headband is clutch. It's been like the one answer to the Joy. And it just adds that early game. At this point, if RRQ wants to invest in like strong early game, because I think that's the real matchup between the Suyo and the Joy. For Suyo to win, you need to get 2 or 3 kills early on, right? And just completely smother the Joy as much as possible. But SRG bans out the Tig anyways.
Do we see SRG pulling out the Vexana here? Especially with the glue being on the other side. It could be a very wise decision.
I wouldn't be surprised if we pick up a Faramis as well, just to answer the glue. It honestly really depends. Isn't that right, Mirko?
Who said there are no short answers?
Yeah.
I literally
What? No, I don't think that pick is good. You think so? I mean, okay.
Mirko said they should pick Mia. That's what he said, yeah.
I disagree. I disagree. Especially when you already have the Bruno.
No, mid lane Mia.
Oh, no, not fam. I'm still waiting for Stormy to use this Joy in the mid lane. Right now, Slangorai Giants.
You think they're gonna pull mid lane Joy?
If anyone can do it, Stormy can. If Stormy
better
can,
than Sunset?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Stormy's my boy. You don't debate me on this. Stormy's my boy. He can use anything mid, and it will look incredible.
Fair.
All right. Thank you.
I forgot who I was on the desk with.
Well, that also begs the question, is this
instead.
Gatot going to be Roam or XP as well? I mean, technically the Hylos is still up for grabs as well, and we've seen SRG like to go for this double dive composition when it comes to Cram, when it comes to Yumes, to be able to disrupt teams and get to their backline. So we'll have to see which way that goes. Artillery being locked in, though. Farza now on the board for SRG.
You know, we've seen RRQ sometimes pick up things like the Ruby could be a possibility. I'm trying to think of a nice tank for them. I mean, maybe even like a Grok or something that just gets to the Farza or something, you know?
Honestly, even just the Hylos, just opening up the pathway makes...
Yeah,
right?
Hylos
exactly.
is still open. Yeah. That's the safer, easier call.
But the Bellaric!
For the Joy, right?
Oh, yeah, for the Joy, but...
Belly Boy.
Outshines the golden crown.
Oh! This is a throwback!
Odette!
M5 throwback! F-Cap Odette against the Joy.
The Odette is good against the Joy, I gotta say. She got shields.
The throwback.
Woo-wee.
The Kingdom stands strong with the Odette pick. One last option for SRG. Now, is this going to be a Gatot XP, or will this be a Gatot Roam?
I mean, they could take the Hylos at this point, just have a super bulky front line. But whatever they pick, either way, for those that don't know, Odette has been a clutch pocket pick against the Joy in past M series and past MPLs. It's been a hero that I didn't think we would see, but still, it's pretty hype, man. And RRQ's putting a lot on the line there. SRG, final lock-in. There goes the Edith. Nice pick-off. Nice answer to the Odette. Probably even possibly a cleaner answer than the Hylos could have been. But yeah, I like it.
Looks like the Edith will be going into the Roam, and I gotta say, the first game in this match looks to be very high with this interesting picks. Thank you very much, my panelists. But now, I gotta give it over to the casters for this game.
It's the King of Kings versus the Immortal Giants. Only one of them will make it to Axiata. Mirko and Leo at your service with you for the action in this best of 5.
Hey man, it's always great to be casting an RRQ match. It's always great to be casting an SRG match. The fact that we get to cast an RRQ SRG elimination match, I'm hyped.
The home court is anywhere when you're playing with these two icons, these two titans of industry. When you're talking MLBB esports, RRQ on their pilgrimage back to where it all began. SRG on that golden road. The journey has started already. The journey begins once more in this best of 5. Game number 1 as we head into the Land of Dawn.
No team has done it, Leo. No team has been able to complete the Golden Road. Just last year, we got Onic ID making it to the grand finals of the M5 World Championship, almost doing it a game away, but still, it was a game too short. Now SRG, they're proven to be really good favorites, contenders here at the M6 World Championship.
Speaking of the M6 World Championship, the M6 pass is available from the 18th of November to the 29th of December. Complete all the active tasks during the event to reach level 75 for free. Get amazing rewards, including Claude's Battle Emote, the M6 Glory Avatar Border, the Baksha's Battle Emote, and a few other bits and pieces. Get them now.
Get them now, man. I mean, what level are you on?
I'm at 69.
You're at 69? That's a nice
I played a lot of games the other night because of how the meta has been evolving. And once more here on the world stage, the meta evolves once more. We're at hero number 76.
Yeah.
Hero number 76 out of 126 active in the top lane.
Yeah, it's the Odette pick. I think Trex already mentioned this earlier, but yeah, this has been an answer before. It was AP Brent that brought it up in the previous M series, but I believe it was only in the group stage. So to have the cojones to actually bring it up here in the knockout stage is really, really great. Tyron, though, going in with the slam pass. Jim goes in as a flicker forward to Rins. All the way from the mid lane, using the flicker. Cram, no more revitalize. Gonna be taken very low. Cram still going in. Jin claims first blood for the kingdom.
At some point, Cram just understood that he was gonna go down. It's up to SRG to find plays elsewhere to make the most out of their XP laner's sacrifice. Ikram might have died for Vayne because there's nothing SRG are finding. RRQ Hoshin up about 600 gold in position for the first turtle.
At least they got the flickers out from Dyron, from Rins, but yeah, it does seem like, it's gonna be really tough for SRG to contest for this neutral objective. Jin might not even use the Retribution. Yeah, just goes for the Soul Sever, claims it away. Stormy tries to go for the read on Skylar. Will get caught in the Death Sonata, but yeah, not much SRG can go for. No trades available for them.
The Sang Raja cooking turtles. Oh, now up by about 500. He's in trouble. Stormy's down.
With a Swan Song. No flicker, no problem. Gets the immobilized. Stormy definitely overstayed his welcome there. Yums walks up with the Earth Shattered as the electrifying beasts are going to be caught in the wrath of the Triad into the slashes of Jin. The AOG comes in, but it's a bit too late.
The Mercenary finds one. 3-0 currently. RRQ Hoshi pushing the tempo here for the invade.
He's going to go for that little camp. Jin playing it really slow. Whoa, great cancel on the Feathered Airstrike. Good steal back. Wait, is that still Jin, I believe, yeah? Who got the green camp.
Either way, any bit you can take away from Sekais will delay SRG's comeback. 1,000 and change up right now for the King of Kings. 3 minutes in. In about a minute, the turtle will respawn, folks. Respawn in that upper quarter. The fact that it's a dead lane for both SRG and RRQ means RRQ can just repeat what they did. If anything, they now have the lead, so it should be easier for them, especially since battle spells are up. So if you're looking at an equal game, it's that 2K gold lead you're really looking at.
They gotta be careful. Swan Song popped in. Yums slash down. Jin gonna be caught in the bad spot for the airstrike, and the Wrath of the Triad catches him. Gatan over. Skies is still going in with electrifying piece. One more arrow. Ida falling down. Flicker forward. Last shot. Skies unable to get fade away. Rins takes the kill, and Dyron mounts him.
Oh, he goes in, pulls him away. One more pump. One more pulse. Yums bites it.
That's Dyron. Diren, we call him. In MPL ID on the glue, so oppressive. A very different RRQ to what we saw up against Liquid 2 days ago.
Bro is sticky. Committed the flicker to be able to get more out of that engagement. And now they're approaching the 3K lead. 2.7, 2.8 now, 4 minutes in.
We want to push it even further. This is only just with the first turtle. 5 kills. Yums trying to open up right now. Gets caught with slam, pass. That's an onward. Locking him down. Also, the Feather Airstrike baited out. Eat up with Revitalize. So walking forward. Jin gets in the stun. Or actually doesn't. AOG stolen away. Going onto the midst of it all. Rins with the Swan Song.
He's singing. Jin gets a turtle.
That's a Soul Sever as well. Dyron and Jin versus 3. The turtle claimed away. Dyron wants to continue the chase, but they'll have to respect it. It becomes a 2 for 2. 2 kills over to the turtle. Skylar winning in this trade, as expected for the Granger-Bruno matchup.
Half man, half beast, all baller. Innocent currently undefeated on this Bruno. So I guess that is SRG's one safe haven. The fact that gold lane isn't as bad looking as the rest of the map, SRG have won from much worse positions than this.
They have just been known to make comebacks happen. I don't know what it is with SRG. It's a very different SRG from what we saw in MSC, who were able to control the game from the start. But it's a welcome change, I would say. A different pace. Usually, they find their power spike around 8-10 minutes. That's what RRQ have to look out for.
True that. in the past, ladies and gentlemen, Selangor Giants have been more comfortable in the early to mid-late game, was no problem. But here in M6, here in the World Championship specifically, they've been more of a comeback team. I guess this is just them as champions adjusting to the current metagame, which, by the way, almost 2 weeks into the competition, we're still seeing new picks. How do you feel about this, Odette?
I mean, I love it personally. Oh! And the Sky Piercer to Skylar. That's how I feel about it.
Rin's answered the question for you, and they're picking up the pace. The fact that bottom lane has been too quiet, RRQ just solved that issue.
Man, Innocent has really been the backbone. We saw the win rate just earlier for the Bruno, 100%. All the way from the Swiss stage to the knockouts. But it does seem like this is a different game. Skylar, 1,300 gold ahead and confident enough to go for the Sky Piercer. Skies doing a lot of damage here on the Sutsujin. Oh, this might be a solo kill. Skies gets the shutdown on Sutsujin.
That was dirty. The Mercenary did not see that coming. Sutsujin may have overestimated the amount of damage he can put on Sekai's Joy. This does help SRG in the long run, and now suddenly XP lane is looking good for red.
It's really, really good. They have the prio here. Sutsujin is down, so they can't actually go for the neutral objective. Rins flickers out. Yums actually uses the Primal Wrath. Just a bit of poke here and there for the airstrike coming down. Edok going for the taunt, unable to get towards the far side. Dyron trying to dismantle this formation. Flickers forward, 2 Skies. Forced to use electrifying beats. Dyron walking up.
Slow and steady. RRQ Hoshi continuing to control the pace. In comes the Mercenary, back from respawn.
Rapid a Dryad and the Swan Song together. That's the combo to get Skies away. The mount up. Yums mounted on. Rins, can he capitalize? There's a flicker out from Yums. Dyron respects it, and both of them go their separate ways.
He disengages. RRQ Hoshi happy with the gain so far. 7 minutes in, 3K gold lead. Another conversion up top.
Look at Stormy.
Oh. He's way behind enemy lines. Does anyone know? The Skylar knows. King Skylar, unaware!
Oh, flicker out to safety though. Gets caught by the feather airstrike, but that's it. Wings by wings, gets caught by that Sonata. No more to come. Innocent gets the turret because of the diversion from Stormy.
All right, a lot of ults spent to be able to secure that tier 1 down bottom, but it's worth it. I'll tell you now, for SRG, any part of the map that you can reclaim to give space for Innocent should be space that the half-man, half-beast can use to regain that lead. How big is it right now? He's still number 3 gold ranking, so it's not bad.
It's not bad. It's still almost 1,000 down on Granger, though. And against Skylar, I think for SRG, a lot of prio needs to be placed on getting Skylar. They burnt out the flicker. Now you have to go for the throat. You gotta get those Sky Piercer stacks away from Skylar. We know how elusive it can be, especially with RQ always just playing for him. If this continues, that range is gonna be deadly, Leo.
Deny the Skylar stacks.
The Skylar Piercer.
It's very greedy for you to build Sky Piercer's second item. Sure, it only costs so much, but if you let him get away with it, then that's on you. We're waiting for Cramp to jump him. We're waiting for Yums to find a sneaky engage. And now speaking of the base, Stormy gets taken out.
That's a second stack on that Sky Piercer. Yums will be able to defend in the mid lane, and Sutsujin is just screening Skies. Everywhere he goes, Sutsujin goes the same way. Melfic Roar picked up for Mr. Sutsujin. That is his 3rd item with the Hunter Strike and the War Axe. He actually opted to go for cooldown boots, so wanting to get more of that, you know, the CC, the sustained damage out in these team fights.
I'd reckon, counterintuitive to what it looks like, this is a very utility-looking Suyo. He's very fast on the pickup. Tap, hold, he can get in and out, and now, that's another one. Innocent down to 1/3 of his health. The ult by Stormy to push back the rest of RRQ.
Cram, gonna go for the taunt. Yums instantly with the Earth Shatter and the onward. The Wrath of the Triad catches them though. The slashes from Sutsujin. Yums still staying alive. Skies walks up Skylar, shuts him down.
1 for 2. 1 for 2. SRG went in deep. RRQ holding their ground. It looks like it's a beeline. They're going straight for the Lord.
Uh-oh, Skylar might be going for one last shot here. Waiting for the Death Sonata stack to be up. This should be a free Lord to the kingdom. Rex Regum Kaon, game number 1 with all the neutral objectives.
Scalpel Precision by Sang Raja. Now 5,000 gold ahead. In the current metagame, there is a go in theory. If Renmar's told y'all, then you know, as long as there's 5,000 between you and your opponents and your gold laners in relative good shape, then you should be fine. But RRQ Hoshi are breaking that threshold. Right now, 10 minutes in, first Lord down. I'm guessing they can go as deep as popping those Holy Shields, Mirko.
I think so too. With the range that they have and the disengage. I don't even want to call it disengage. It's more of a an engage to the people who engage. They don't want to disengage. They want to fight whenever someone dives to them. It's a swan song with a bit of tree, a bit of roots there, here and there.
It's lethal provocation. If you decide to fight them, they will fight you back. And now, oh my God, Innocent!
That's another from Skylar. Finds the kill. That is his 5th stack in this game.
Stuck Lima!
Stuck Lima, he's fully stacked, guys. Oh, he's gonna be careful. He has to be very careful. That's another one connecting. That's the second one as well. The chase on forward. Last shot, Skies able to escape for just a bit.
The Sky Prince running from the King and the Mercenary!
Oh, he wants to go for him. Skies with a dash. Sutsujin taking another. Up top, they're still looking for the siege. Skies is actually buying a lot of time. Sutsujin with the chase.
Got him! Oh, he comes through! He dashes through!
He's buying so much time for the Red Giants. He's able to escape, but look at what RRQ have been able to do to the rest of the turrets. Like you said, Leo, holy defense pop up top. I don't know how it's looking like down below, but in the mid lane, they still have that wave to control. They still have that holy defense to utilize.
Quick to dead a bull like a matador. The Sky Prince legit skywalking on these two. Got away with theft. That's gotta be a good play. That's a major play for SRG. Say what you will about not having real returns on the map, but he may as well have saved that top lane inhibitor.
That's a good point. I think so. That bought so much time.
Skylar and Sutsujin. That's 2 major damage sources for RRQ. Those are legit their cores that he pulled away.
And the thing is, for RRQ Hoshi, the siege can only work if they have Skylar. So as long as you bring up Skylar, it's over for the siege, right? SRG can still clear out these waves. They have a Bruno. They have the Farsa. These are the 2 picks that we are always going to think about when we think high ground control, wave clear. They're really good at getting rid of the Lord and the minion waves, but still though, despite the Lord not able to get any of the base turrets, they've done enough with the base turret, right? They've done enough with the Lord. Just getting the tier 2s around the map and leaving them with the base turrets means there's so much tempo on the map.
And popping the holy shields. I think that was key as well. But now past the 12-minute mark, that's not important. Half life left on that top lane inhibitor. Pristine mid and bot. There's one more item left in King Skylar's arsenal to build, the RGM dog.
Rose gold, dog.
Rose gold.
Well, he picks it up just in time, man. Perfect time. A rose gold dog for Mr. Skylar. 501. SRG. What do they have to do at this point, right? Do they try to gamble it? Make a desperate play to contest for the Lord? Or do they just let RRQ take it?
Weirdly enough, SRG have to time through Rins and Edok. If they can force out a random... Oh, wait. It's a Stormy throwing it out first. Hoping for one. Dyron down to half health.
Dyron though, with a flicker forward, that's a Purify away as well. Dyron's gonna be careful here. Split use! Revitalize already! And they use Dyron as a diversion. Skylar getting him down. Primal Wrath used up. Meanwhile, the mid lane. It's gonna be the taunt over. Swan Song! Stop Skies! Oh! The stun over from Sutsujin, and that's Sonata not connecting.
That hold surge definitely making a comeback! Skylar! Poppin' Innocent! All 3-0, point blank!
Skylar, you madman! The King graces us with his presence. 6-0-1 on the Granger. A phenomenal performance, a risky one at that. Dashing forward on a Granger.
He sold his rose gold dog, turning it into a war axe. He's showing his teeth now. The claws have come out.
That's kind of loco, man. Dashing in forward against a Bruno, against a Farsa. Sky's got to be careful. He's going to be chased down. He already cleared out the Lord, so he's done so much just for defending. But now, I don't know if he can escape. Skies, can you escape?
Here's 3!
Right there, immobilization. Skylar gets the kill. 7-0-1.
Not again, the King says, not again. Not in my kingdom. Almost 10,000 gold between these two. The Lord taken care of about a couple of minutes before the next one spawns. I think SRG are still in it, but it's looking very dire.
Oh, Cram looking forward for the airstrike over to the wave. Skylar's gonna try to go for it. Detonata! 3 of them hitting on the Stormy. The 4th one whiffing. In the top lane, it's a base turret taken down. Cram with the AOG.
Defensively used. Counting these resources. 1 ult down. 2 more. The flicker from Yums keeping himself alive. The base still standing.
Yums goes in for the conceal. Edok cancels it away. 2 base turrets taken down. I think RRQ Hoshi are happy with that siege. They seem very, very content.
Permanent damage dealt to the top and mid lanes. SRG now have to control themselves from crossing the threshold of the river. Even their own jungle isn't as safe anymore. Ooh. And look at this Lord position. Look where it spawned. Long lane is the lane that got penetrated by RRQ. So this is definitely a huge problem for SRG.
Holy moly, that's a 3,600 gold lead between the gold laners. Skylar's been farming kills and minions.
Innocent cannot afford to buy a Wind of Nature. So Innocent right now is struggling with economy. Yeah. Despite being number 3 in the gold gains, in the gold rankings, it's not a good look. He's suffering.
Wait.
He's struggling.
Leo, is that a 4,000 goldie? 4,500 goldie between the junglers. We haven't really been talking about Sutsujin that much, but you know, I think the biggest criticism, the biggest point of criticism towards Sutsujin in the match against Vamos and TLID was the fact that his red trees just haven't been on point. He hasn't been able to secure neutral objectives to the team, and now it seems, you know, that problem's gone.
Look at these numbers, folks. All turtles, all lords, taken by the mercenary. If you have coin, he can do the job. And here we go. One more lord up on the docket for Rasang Raja. Stormy preemptively uses the flicker and the feathered airstrike.
Oh, Ritz is down! Lethal ignition with the burn. Diamond coming out. Sky's in the back line. Skylar trying to cut away. That's Sonata away. And now Sutsujin claims the lord. Skylar still with the Rose Gold Meteor. It's a win for SRG. They're chasing onto Enoch.
And they back off, peeling back, and now Sutsujin in the middle of it.
Innocent goes in. That's an immortality for Sutsujin. The comeback might be real. With a crown by Sutsujin. Can he escape? No, he cannot! Cram takes him out.
3 for none. RRQ Hoshi gamble everything for that lord. They get it, but at what cost? This lord is going to be giving negative gains.
That was a phenomenal fight by the Selangor Red Giants. This is what we were talking about, Leo. It came a bit later than we expected. We expected the 8 to 10 minute to be SRG's green light. But now they are online. They have bought enough time for the Bruno, for the Farsa to be a threat. Skylar needs to be very careful. Clears out the wave, and SRG will have to be happy with just the tier 2 down below.
King of Kings lose about half of their gold lead, down to 5K between these two. Titans, and now Innocent dashing off. Using that Purify, he's safe for now.
Very close. Innocent with the Purify.
Mini heart attack for all the SRG fans all around the world. They cannot afford one more death on Innocent. No, sir. That win in the Lord Pit, amazing. The art of the turn, SRG putting on a clinic, but they got to do more than that. I think one more go at that. Can they get there? One more. About a minute and change from now.
I guess we'll see from the items here. Is that a Holy Crystal that Stormy is building towards, right? And for the Bruno, like you said, man, no Wind of Nature for him. He knows that even if he builds the Wind of Nature, there's going to be so much power from that Sky Piercer to actually execute him. So might as well go for the Rose Gold, go for the Wind Talker, try to evade from the damage instead of tanking it up. Meanwhile, though, for Sutsujin, he's also trying to bank on the true damage. Endless Battle here, already bought as well. Trying to get through some of the defenses that SRG have.
His last item could be anything between a Sea Halberd or a Malefic Roar. Some of these engages leave SRG with like a third, a fourth of their health. Sutsujin just wants to end it. Sutsujin just wants to use the Queller and just end things. RRQ maintaining the lead, putting pressure on the bottom lane. This is the only lane they have yet to penetrate. Skylar building the Sea Halberd. All right, they understand that Yums and Cram have been getting away with it.
And we have to think about it this way. For RRQ, their jungler, he used the Winter Crown earlier. I think it should be back on cooldown, right? It should be back up. But the Immortality is a long shot away from being back up. So there's no more full item slots for Sutsujin. That's why I think he's going for the Glass Cannon build.
Yep, full on damage until those active items come off of cooldown. Stormy here, preemptive Feathered Airstrike, so just clearing the perimeter. About 15 seconds until the Lord spawns upper quarter. This is good for SRG. The fact that long lane is their safe lane, the lane that has a turret left, this should be a go signal for SRG to try and contest.
They need to manage the waves properly, though. Again, even though they have that close lane to them dealt with, it's closer towards the Lord. The bottom lane has actually been slow pushed by RRQ. They've set up very well into the Lord setup. 5,000 gold lead at this point, it really does doesn't matter anymore. SRG have already caught up in gold, in scaling. I think they might actually be ahead.
Even with the 8,000, 9,000 gold lead earlier, SRG pulled the turn of a lifetime. Here's the concealed play. Coming in. Cram crashes through. Finds Dyron.
Skies wants to go in. Whoa! Skies gonna be stunned up with the crown into the AOG. Skies with the immortality buy, and that's gonna be the winner. Crown for Sutsujin as well. He buys it in time, pops it in time. Cram able to disengage, but meanwhile, Dyron all alone against Innocent.
Deep. Dyron went deep. He was too far away from his teammates, and that's a free pick-off. 45 seconds till Dyron can get back into the action, and now SRG have the man advantage, 4v5.
40 seconds on the death timers now, 20 minutes in. Long timer, Sutsujin. I don't think you want us to go on that. Edok, the tank, a bit of damage here. SRG on the Lord, going on to Sutsujin, he still has the dash, goes in for the blink. 24 seconds on Dyron. SRG need to pull the trigger now.
Watch it, there still is an ult on Odette. An ult on the bell ring. Here comes a flicker.
Rose gold from Skylar. Oh, Skies! Going into the back line to win a crown. No, it's just the immortality for Skylar, taken down by Skies.
The king has fallen, and now the mercenary in the crosshairs of SRG.
The Red Giants want to continue this chase of feathered airstrike to take the mercenary down. And now it is just one. It is Dyron left to defend against the Red Giants.
A delayed wipeout. Dyron versus the Giants. Dyron versus the world.
Chain CC, the glue, cannot tank that damage. SRG against the 10,000 gold lead, against the oppression of the Kings. Come back in game one.
The MSC 2024 champions first on the board, 1-0.
A solid start in the IOI exhibition hall up against the Kings of Kings. You can hear it in the arena, folks. The power of the Malaysian crowd, the power of the Selangor Red Giants army.
Back to the drawing board, RRQ have to go. Figure out where it all went wrong. They had an amazing start, an amazing early, mid, even late game. But what caused this comeback? We'll throw it over to our analysts, LaFell, Wheezy, and Trex to break it down.
That was definitely a game. Like, SRG has been talking about finding their identity, and this is their turnaround, man. A lot to talk about, but again, gotta give big shout-outs to my boy. Stormy with the feather S-Right, finding Rins at the edge of the feather S-Right, hitting two. Rins basically gets taken down by the emblem, and then after that, SRG is like, it's go time. Once the Odette is not there, Sky says freedom.
This is typical fashion for SRG so far. This is a kind of repeat from their last series that we've seen, right? They're playing from behind, and a slight mistake, they're able to turn everything back around. You got to be on your P's, you got to be on your Q's when you're going up against them. Any moment of weakness, and they're going to push through and take that game from you, and that's what we see for game number one is the Kingdom fell for that one. So now they are now leading the way in this series.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an amazing series. Overall, it took a little bit for SRG to get into shape, but there's a couple points I think to make early on in the game. Even when Sekai's was a few levels under Sutsujin, he was able to get the kill, and I think that kind of continues to write the story as SRG gets stronger and stronger with these scaling heroes. Once more and more items start getting locked in, I mean, it was just too much damage from all around the board between Innocent. Even if you get Innocent, you got Stormy who locks in Holy Crystal at the end. You have Sekai's who's completely in there. I mean, by the end of there, it was just too much. And even some of those, I mean, it feels like even at the end of the game, SRG starts to play better. We saw Sekai's almost completely mess up, and Cram comes in with the AOG to save him, and it felt like it was part of the plan.
Yeah, can we talk about that? What is that synergy between Skies and Cram? Because they understood Skylar's a problem, Rins is a problem. Skies, can you do something about that? And it's like, I can, but I need help though. And Cram came in with that help.
Yeah, just getting the job done. I mean, even Skylar in the beginning, he picked up that Sky Piercer, and it was such a threat. Picking up kills left and right. There was a moment where Miracle even said the King was gracing everybody with his presence. But then you got to see SRG. They found a way to get back to him, get to the back line. The audience, let's talk about that for a second. They were going insane.
I mean, how could you not? How could
no
you
matter
not?
what side you're on.
No matter what side you're on, you know? Because, like, RRQ, like, it looked 5,000 gold lead, full items on the jungle as well as the gold laner. Look at the damage Skylar dealt, 86,000 damage. Look at Innocent, man, 93,000. Like, he just needed space. And I gotta tell you, Sakai's and Cram really gave that space.
You know, and there's something important to note as well. We heard Mirko and Leo talking about how Skylar was also building a lot of damage. And we saw those emblems a minute ago. And again, Skylar goes for the full damage emblem instead of picking up Tenacity like Innocent did. Like, we see a lot of that continues to be the toss-up. And I think in endgame, that's when you get so much, you get a lot of profit out of that, right? Because once you get below that 50%, you're getting a little bit extra defense, and you can last just a little bit longer in those fights. Maybe when Sekai's jumps on you in the end game, you don't immediately go down. And some of those risks, you know, in the end, the risk capitalized over the reward for Skylar.
Speaking of risk, speaking of reward, as we take a look at the gold graph, I mean,
look at that turn.
For a while, it was RRQ's game. They took 3 turtles, 3 lords, and still that one slight mistake and a turnaround from SRG.
Now, I want to pull all your attention at the 1708 mark. If you guys see RRQ there, that's where they got the Lord. And this is the fight where Stormy was able to find Rins, and then after that, Sakai's was able to go to the back line. Now, we can see how big the shift was, but pay attention as well. Before 1708, that was a bit of a shift as well. The highest was 10K difference. And then Selangor Giant start to slowly get the advantage. And I feel like the biggest thing is access to the backline, because if you look at the core understanding of SRG's draft, it's all about dealing with Skylar, right? As long as you get the main damage dealer, then you're all good. Where you have the Gatakacha as well as the Joy. Edith covers the backline. Farsa can engage as well from afar. Innocent just cleans house. So honestly, I gotta give big props to Cram and Skies. They did their job well.
Yeah, and that helps out Innocent, right? Because for a while, he was behind in the economy compared to Skylar, right? I remember Leo at a point in time, he said he couldn't even afford to get the Wind of Nature. He was so far behind Skylar, but with the help of Sakai's, with the help of Cram, with the help of the entire team, he was able to start slowly getting to those core items, and once that Bruno gets online, it's a very hard machine to stop.
And now we gotta look at our MVP. And I gotta say, people have been criticizing this man's Joy, but today here's the MVP. Sakai's on that Joe, dropping the beat of the Flash.
Dropping the beat of the Flash, and very well done. I mean, just knew his objective, knew his job, and was able to split up the enemy team. And I love what you said, Lavelle. You know, having to take out Skylar, having to take out Rins was Sekai's job, but once he does that, also we saw a few times Dyron gets separated, the rest of the team gets separated, and that was SRG's win con, right? As long as we can get them a little bit apart, then Innocent and rest of team can handle this, and Cram and Sekai's can get to the back line, and SRG wins out when the fights are separated, right? SRG has enough damage spread out among all 5 of their members that they can disband their members a bit, put them across the map, and win as long as RQ's on different parts.
And he had a lot of challenges to go up against. First of all, the glue on the table. We saw that stun come in. It was about, what, 1.5 seconds where he just couldn't move at all.
That was the Odette,
that was
the Odette as well, Like, and then on top of that, there was a moment where RQ Host was trying to take the inhibitor turret, and he runs all the way to the opposing side of the map and forces the team to chase him on that engagement to buy SRG the time it needed for the defense.
Yeah, something to really point out here is, I like what you said, he bought time as well. So what we see here is honestly Skies being the MVP, not because of the KDA. He got the kills, he got the assists, sure. But how he played the macro game as well, pulling away key targets away from Selangor Giants, that's key.
I love this play right here. Now look at those levels, 3 levels ahead. If this doesn't prove that Joy is the better counter to Suyo, I think that just nails the coffin in. And I'm sure at some point we're also gonna see what you said, the running away. Whenever Lord's coming, he's completely pulling everyone away. At one point, I think it was 2nd or 3rd Lord, he soloed Lord top lane and stopped it from even getting to base. I mean, overall, Sekai's, maybe his KDA isn't perfect this game, but everything else was.
I mean, he was willing to sacrifice some HP. And Selangor Giants, they have really changed the way that they play the game. Where before this, it's methodical, it's calculated. Now I would say Selangor Giants, they're more chaotic, because so far we've seen a lot of wins is by separating the team fight. It's like, hey, you know what? A lot of teams on M6, they're very good at team fighting. How about we make it a 1v1 5 times?
It's becoming an SRG special, right? I mean, every time Cram and Humes finds a way to get to the back line, it's almost 100% guaranteed win for SRG on the turnaround.
Yeah, it's definitely it's an interesting way that they've been approaching the games, and I think a lot of people have been saying it's more of them getting lucky or they've been throwing the beginning of the game, but I still have in my gut, I still feel like SRG's okay with losing that early game. And we've seen a lot of champions in the past be okay with losing early game. This snapback was maybe a little bit risky, letting it get to 7, 8, or 9K, but a lot of teams are okay with letting that gold lead escape until the first or second Lord, you know? And then first Lord, 8 to 10 minutes, that rubber band happens, and now it's, okay, we're back in control. So SRG's been playing for those mid to late game power spikes, and there's nothing wrong with that. So many amazing teams have played that same exact way.
Speaking of which, do you know SRG? They meet Ferry. Gaming meets luxury. Luxury meets gaming. Ferry's first. M662 watches. A special jewelry collection for Jushin and Mia. And brand new champion rings and medals. Which honestly, the medals look pretty good, by the way. I'm trying to do the Japanese style. M6 Suisu watches. It's on the ad, all right? It's on the ad. I got the watch. I got the ring. I got the bling.
You just need a pendant now, right? Did you make your mythic? Right?
I am mythic.
Okay, so you gotta get your pendant. If you guys hit mythic, they have mythic pendants available as well.
And oh no, is it not here? Did they not give it? Oh well, whatever. Fuel your game with Hello Panda Crunchy Biscuits filled with creamy chocolate or strawberry, the ultimate snack to keep you energized. Level up your day and visit Hello Panda's website for more. Heck, you know what? We need to hit that website up because we need more of that.
I definitely need more.
I think Trex ate the Hello Panda.
No, they haven't showed up yet. I will eat them once they get here. But,
no, you know what? I feel like it's partly our fault. Maybe we took a little bit more than we were supposed to.
You brought the bowl out the other day. Did you bring a bowl again?
Something told me that that I was not gonna have to use it, so I didn't know. Talk about the game? Yes, let's talk about the game. Speaking of Magic Chess Go-Go, the game, a multiplayer strategy game now soft launch in Malaysia and Singapore. Pre-registration is now underway for other APAC regions. And I gotta say, Magic Chess Go-Go, honestly, I've been playing it in just one day. I went from Warrior, now I'm Grandmaster. I know on the BM desk, Adin has been grinding as well. Personally, for me, I love the Northern Vale one. It's like Carrie's passive, and it's incredible. So, shout outs Magic Chess Go-Go. I personally am gonna invest more time onto that.
You know
it's gonna be an esport, trust me.
And there's no need for fast fingers. So strategy and luck are your keys to victory. Team up with your favorite heroes and also strategize with your friends wherever and whenever. Put your strategies to the test and outsmart your opponents and claim the ultimate victory.
That was clean.
I've been outsmarting quite a lot of people.
Have you?
I have a over 94% top 4 rate.
Oh.
How many games have you played? 3.
19 or 20 or something like that.
Nice.
Which, by the way, can you imagine? I played like 12, 13 games, and it barely hit my battery. That's how optimized the game is.
Wow.
What phone were you playing on?
On the RRQ, on a single charge. I can play like 12, 13 games, and I was like, wait, I still have more. I still don't have to charge. I'm like, oh. It could be the RG, it could be the well-optimized game, but either way, I'm a happy man. Speaking of a happy man, I was happy that SRG won, but that was close. Now, Trex, can we imagine that is SRG when they're losing by 5,000 gold?
Imagine if they're only losing by 2.
Imagine if they win by 5,000 gold.
Or if they're up by 5,000 gold.
Oh, wait, I have imagined that. That was during the Swiss stage, and then they got comebacked. Right.
So they actually have to be behind.
Have to be behind.
It's all part of the plan.
Because when they're ahead, bad things happen.
You know what else is cool? Innocence cool? Bruno. Still 100%.
Still 100%.
Now out of 4 games.
Now, we were able to talk to Keskew, the coach coming in from RRQ. Let's see what he thinks about Selangor Red Giants coming into this matchup where the Giants search for identity. This is Keskew's quote. Every team has its challenges, and SRG is still finding their identity. They're struggling with this patch because they don't have any particular strong heroes, which makes them easier to draft against. However, it all comes down to their preparation, and we're looking forward to playing against the hometown heroes. And weird to say, maybe Chaos is their identity now, which is so different from MSC.
Yeah, RRQ, they got to find some answers, right? I mean, we are now at the peak. Before we go to Oxiata, one more seat and a hurdle they have to jump through. Playing from behind now with SRG in the lead. I know you're excited for Malaysia as well. There's a lot of excitement for both teams out in the crowd behind us. Felt like an earthquake for a moment while the teams were fighting it out and the turnaround happened from SRG.
Yeah, I'm at a point where I think, like, I like how we keep saying SRG's chaos, but also there's still some, I'm a strong believer that there's some methodicalness to what they're doing, you know?
Controlled chaos.
Like maybe it got a little out of hand there with the gold lead getting to 8 to 9K, but their composition, like, I think they knew their win con, it wasn't going to be early game, right? They knew laning phase is not where we're going to win this. But as long as we hang on, it is a guaranteed path to victory. And though it is chaotic in like the team fights, I think their approach to the game is still very smart and genius.
Let's talk about Coach Keskew here, because let's try to get into the mind of a coach. What do you tell your team? Like, what really went wrong? What do you have to change for essentially what SRG did will not happen again?
Well, I would say don't let the rubber band effect bounce back on you, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that went right for RRQ Hoshi. Skylar was on fire. I mean, he picked up that Sky Piercer. He was getting everything done, but it's those key moments where you see Sakai's sneak through and create a window of opportunity by distracting several members.
And now, folks, on your screen is the average gold per minute ranking. Aaron Shiki is number 1 with 835 gold per minute, but not far behind. Innocent is actually number 2 with 831, and Kelra number 3 with 814.
That's insane if you think about it, because Innocent, so many games they're behind when these games start, and Innocent is still the number 2 average GPM. His team is losing by 5,000 gold, but he's the number 2 average GPM.
How?
Put that into your brain for a second. How does that even work?
Does he spawn more minions?
I don't know. Math's hard, man.
Anyways, looking at the average KDA here, Skylar is winning out by 0.8. But looking at the gold per minute, Innocent finds ways just to get the farm, plus 36.4. Average kills, Skylar is a little bit higher, but gotta say, SRG games doesn't really go like bloodthirsty kind of style. Not always going for the kills, sometimes looking for those objectives while the fight is going on.
Yeah, I feel like the economy and the gold is not really ever a worry for SRG, right? They just wait for the late game. If all else fails, just stall to the late, find a distraction, and then bounce back. Speaking of bouncing back into the draft we go for game number 2 for the Kings. RRQ Hoshi and SRG. Who will be able to move forward? Will it be RRQ Hoshi trying to even out the series? Or will it be 2-0 from SRG?
Okay, so RQ this time once again takes first pick, which is pretty still out of comfort zone for them usually. It's been their losing side most of the time, but I think the big switch up here is if SRG leaves the Bruno open, they take the Bruno.
Yeah, I think that would be the case.
They definitely take the Bruno this time, and then if SRG, maybe trying to bait SRG to pick up the Suyo so they can get the Joy, but I think first picking Suyo is no longer meta in draft. Like, I don't think it loses a lot. The Blue Yo's losing a lot right now.
No, I feel like it's because of the existence of the Joy. That's why people are really considering it. Like, again, Suyo is an amazing hero, but if the Joy is open, like if you ban
Joy,
then you're good. That's good. That is good. Exactly.
It's going to be interesting, though, because if RRQ takes the Bruno, that's a gamble SRG is willing to take. I mean, that's why they leave it open with being on second pick. Coach Arcadia himself said that he had no real worry about it just due to proper planning. So RRQ Hoshi will be taking up that Bruno this time around. Will that make a difference?
That's the proper planning right there. It's like, we're going to pick it. That's the proper planning.
So they should be the Joy, or they might have something else.
I think you third pick jungle, because if you pick Joy, RQ could still go the Fred. right? They can still pick up the Fred to deal with the Joy. So now our SRG's in this place where I don't think we want to show our jungle pick right away.
I don't know. I feel Joy Louis for some reason.
Joy Louis?
I say Joy still because even the last game there was multiple counters to the Joy, and he was still able to get the job done. So I feel like that's a gamble. I feel like with SRG, they're not really too worried about the hard counters as often, and they just want to find a way around it. So I do think maybe the Joy blocks. The Lu Yi would be
Got the first.
very interesting. The Suyo!
Wow. After we talked about how good the Joy against the Suyo is this a bait?
I was saying RQ's trying to bait them into Suyo maybe by picking the Bruno first, but I'm still a little surprised by it. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Suyo can be good as long as you're willing to finish. Like you have to get that lead immediately, which hasn't been SRG's
Time to drop the
shining zone, you know, and RQ immediately responds, takes the Joy as the counter, gets the glue as well. So right now RQ's looking clean.
Looking at draft here, looks like they're switching sides where RQ this time they have the Joy and they have the Bruno. What? After this RQ will pick up the Farsa?
The Farsa.
And then Stormy is the one picking up the Odette?
I don't know.
This is definitely a swing that I didn't expect, right? RRQ Hoshi now with this Joy definitely can make that lean in their favor. We don't really see anything to really stop it in his track so far. I mean, maybe the Bellerin comes out. Maybe the Tig comes out. Definitely some viable options. Maybe even locking in that Granger here could be a wise decision because they need an answer for this Bruno.
We'll find a way.
I think we're going to end up seeing and since he's not going to pick his marksman here, big chance RQ bans out the Granger. Do we think SRG goes for the innocent Moskov pick here towards the end? It could be a possibility depending on what marksmen get banned out. And just a bit to some comfortability, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, it makes sense. Once the Joy comes in, at least you can peel for yourself, right?
Well, they have an answer to the glue, picking up this Vexana, so they're not too worried about that. But yeah, the Moskov can definitely be a wise play. The Beatrix still up for grabs as well. Maybe limiting some of the gold lane potential maybe on the board for RRQ Hoshi to deny Innocent getting comfortable. I mean, we've been seeing Skylar scale better in the early phase, right? He's just been having a little bit of an easier time, whereas that rubber band effect kind of works more for Innocent as the later the game goes, Cram and Yumes are able to find the opportunity. So maybe even giving something to Cram to create that double dive composition that we're used to seeing to capitalize on the mistakes could be what they're looking for the second half of the draft.
I think Cram still gets this Gatot. I think in the end, Gatot goes over to Cram here, which gives them that dive that you want, and it worked very well last game. If RQ doesn't ban it, there's still a chip open, which is kind of, you know, a backhand strategy, something they could fall into. The Lu Yi's still open, and then Marksman, and that's where RQ's at right now. It's like, do we go full into Marksman? I think they definitely probably get rid of the Granger. They take out the chip option, so that's off the map. Maybe they just get rid of any map displacement options and just go into the Lu Yi as well.
I think the Lu Yi would be a good pickup here, right? I mean, definitely could affect this Gatot, the Suyo, and even the Vexana. I wonder if SRG will be able to sniff that one out. We still got to see what the gold lane matchup is going to be as well up against this Bruno. Now, are we seeing the Hylos still up for grabs? Could be something that SRG goes in for, especially on this XP lane matchup or Rome matchup that we're going to be seeing moving forward. Maybe even the Belleric could be coming out here.
Belleric's definitely a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. SRG's going to get first pick here, so I don't think they slot in gold lane right away. I think most likely they go Rome and then into gold lane as their final pick, just to get as maximum possibility counter, know exactly what they're going to be up against. RQ on their last ban. They might leave the Granger. It's definitely a possibility.
If they ban the chip, they banned the Guinevere before. The Tig is open as well. I wouldn't say that it was that big of a problem in the previous match. It looks like they're banning out the Belleric. They're more worried about the Belleric, the matchup against the Joy. Now, SRG, they can pick up the Granger now because here's the thing. If they don't pick up the Granger now, that's a bit sus. that makes it sound like they have a different answer for this Bruno. Perhaps they figured out, because here's the thing. SRG, vengeance incarnate. Now they pick out the Moscow, because here's the thing. SRG is the one that said Granger is the counter towards Bruno. Yeah. But our problem is we can't close games with it. So
You know what you can't close games with?
a
Innocence Moscow.
Oh yeah, that's the maniac there. That's the half man, half beast.
Now the last question is the final pickup for SRG with the Gatot. Do they go something like the Hylos to lock this in? For the side of RRQ though, I mean, with the Granger, or with the Bruno and the Moskov matchups, definitely going to be interesting. You're going to have to watch out for the split push. That Spear of Destruction puts a lot of mobility into the hands of SRG, but they have some answers to get to that backline, right? You still have this Joy, and there isn't the Belleric to really stop them. Kadita, though.
Kadita. Okay, the Khalid makes sense. I think Khalid is a good pick against SRG, but the Kadita, though.
RRQ picked this once before in Wildcard. I mean, in Swiss Stage. I can't remember whether it won or lost, but it has been picked up one time by RRQ. It might have been picked up by other teams, but I know RRQ has. This has been a fallback. It is not Rome Kadita. It is mid Kadita.
Unless they want to pull a Warlord and mid Khalid.
Mid Khalid and Rome Kadita. I mean, it's possible, right?
I mean,
either one.
Hey,
either one doesn't belong there.
As long as Khalid is somewhere around mid, the damage is going to be good enough to stop the movements from Selangor and Giant. So honestly, I'm liking the draft coming in from RRQ.
It's funny because Renz is just digging deep in his bag right now with these picks, right? You see the Odette, and now you get to see a potential Kadita in the mix, and there goes the Guinevere to wrap things up for SRG. How are we feeling about it?
First of all, it is Kadita mid. So let's not get too excited.
Yeah, it's Kadita.
It's Kadita mid.
Who's the Gwen gonna catch though? That's a lot of hard targets to find.
Hey, with the right mindset, you can catch all of them. Thank you very much to our panelists and Marco, Leo, you guys ready for this one?
We're more than ready. We're looking forward to that Kadita coming through. 60% of the time, it works every time.
50% win rate is the win rate we have right now.
Close.
2 times it was picked up already in the Swiss stage, I believe. Yeah, no knockout stage appearance, so this is the debut of Mrs. Kadita on the world stage knockouts.
That is the Indonesian siren conquering the seas against SRG, who came back in game 1 and now are once again deploying Hume's Guinevere, which came at the bane of NIP Flash last night. Here we go, game number 2, into the battlefield we go. And I gotta tell you now, when RRQ are up against the ropes like this, when they lose a game like that, something tells me it's a download situation. Do you remember TLID?
Yeah, I remember Twisted Minds as well in the Swiss stage. So yeah, RRQ definitely have a pattern. Every single time they're down one game, it seems like, they take in all the mistakes they made in game 1. But I would say the same thing about SRG. Even when they win, they learn so much from their opponents. And I think they have also downloaded a lot from RRQ, especially in the early game. Petrify, Breath of the Ocean, Rinse trying to go for the kill. One more! Almost kill pressure. Oh, the fadeaway. Just one splash of water. Yums took the orange buff. Oh, that is unfortunate.
Unfortunate, but just the same, you have blamed Yums. He did his best, he tried.
It's either survive, orange buff, or die, no orange buff.
It's bad for SRG.
It's bad.
Either way, which puts RRQ Hoshi now up by about 500 gold. Turtle spawning in the lower quarter of the map, so that is where these two teams are looking to post up about 30 seconds from now.
That's a Master Assassin. Oh, spatial migration over to Dyron. It's a grab. That's a stun too. Severed Soul on the Curse Blast. Now electrify.
Oh, God.
From Sutsujin. Oh, what is that damage? Just the Breath of the Ocean from Rins.
Let him go. Real quick, a look at the emblems there explains why Yums got away with it. But just the same, that Concussive Blast is also what took away the orange from Sikais. Now top lane 1v1, Innocent versus Skylar.
Whoa, Skylar wants to go in. Actually ends up evening the trade out. Spatial migration cancelled by the Petrify.
Yums taken out here by the Mercenary. He wants one more.
Electrifying beats the dance of Sutsujin as he claims that kill, and it sets up perfectly for the first turtle.
Clean for the King of Kings. This will propel them forward up by about 1,000 and change now. 2 minutes in. Sutsujin clean with a take, and maybe the small camp, why not?
Just invading. Didn't need to use the retribution, so you can actually just go in, get a very, very safe invade, a bit more of a lead. And now it's just deja vu, right? I think for the most part, both SRG and RRQ find themselves in this situation in most of their games. RRQ are always leading at the start, but then lose out control. SRG are always down in the early game, but somehow manage to gain control in the mid game.
a very templated approach by RRQ Hoshi. Patterns upon patterns you see. And I'm pretty sure Kezcute has drilled it into their minds. He brought out the blueprint, laid it out and said, this is what you did last game, do it better. And what better start could you ask for? A turtle, a compromised orange, 3 kills on the mercenary, and now look at this Edok pushing back to Yums and Sekais.
Do it better doesn't even cut it anymore, you know? That was an M5 thing. You gotta do it greater in M6.
Than ever.
Than ever.
Game never over. I mean, that is just one game that they dropped the ball on. And again, the only real L is when you don't learn. And so far, I think the fact that they're pushing the tempo, speeding it up, putting Rins on a hero that can pick off easy targets, Innocent, Stormy. I'll tell you now, even Sekai's come to mid-game, he's gonna hurt.
Definitely. Does seem like right now, I mean, I'm paying attention into this gold lane matchup. It does seem like in this game, Edok is paying more attention to Skylar than he did in the previous one, right? Despite the fact that Granger was winning the matchup. I think now they're thinking, okay, we got a Bruno up against a Moskov. Even if we get to mid-game, late-game together, if they scale up properly, Bruno should still have the edge.
That's right. So by sending Edok over there, they protect the early game, they secure the mid-game, and then the inevitable late game. Yep. Bruno is, I want to say infinitely scaling, but when you put it...
Basically.
It's almost there. Especially if your opponent has to start juggling Winter Crowns, Wind of Natures, and maybe Innocent doesn't even walk away with, oh, Yums jumping in, thump through, forcing Rins to skip him as well. Turtle here, now began the dance, there's a knock-up.
Dyron with time, pass, good revitalize. Stormy will be taken down by Edok. Rins caught in the bad spot, Cram trying to go for the chase, but it will just be a pick onto Stormy and then neutral objective for RRQ Hoshi.
It's a man down for the Giants as RRQ Hoshi go ahead to barrel away at the Turtle. 2,000 gold ahead. Turtle soup on the menu here for the King of Kings.
There you go, another neutral objective without the retribution for Sutsujin. A clean and simple take through a fight. It's always about catching your opponents before the fight. And SRG, I think they're now finally understanding the pattern. Skylar, though, wants to continue to push up top against Innocent. He has to be careful. He has to purify. No, doesn't even need it. Dashes away from the spatial migration.
Slide tackle, so useful as a tool. Engaging, disengaging.
Okay.
Stormy spots one, Rins.
No.
Oh no, he gets caught.
Raging Sandstorm, Rins pops in a rough wave just in time. Cram looking for it, goes in for the Tom, but it's only onto the back. SOD connecting as well. That's Innocent with the Spear of Misery. Rins still able to survive.
Cram here, down to a fifth of his health. In comes the EG. Stormy disengages.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Sutsujin is having a little bit of a dance with Innocent and Skies. Innocent sent down below, and they will have to concede this turret structure over to RRQ Hoshi in the 5th minute of the game. Skylar has just been so oppressive on this Bruno.
Basically, that's what this 3,000 gold lead buys for RRQ Hoshi. The fact that they can send one, oh, Stormy pushed back by Spear Misery. See, this is the situation that I'm talking about. The fact that you're so far ahead, Rins, popping, Innocent, full combo.
Rough waves from Rins. No Purify, they baited it out earlier. Sutsujin trying to bait out that spatial migration again. Great read on the spatial migration. And now Dyron's coming by.
Oh no.
Yes, Violet Requiem. The Breath of the Ocean connects. Now the slam and a pass. Won't be able to connect Yums. Can he get out of the situation? Yes, he can. Cold Yums. Staying composed.
Hey, if Rins had that combo, my Malaysian goat would have been cooked.
Is Yums your Malaysian goat?
Yes, he is.
I see.
Who else would be?
I don't know. Skies? Nah, I think Yums has been there longer.
Right.
I agree.
The Sky Prince, though, we got to talk about his performance. 0-2 right now, 5-6 minutes in to game number 2. I think all the critics, all the pundits, all the analysts online are saying this is not the same Sekais, but wait, they're looking to get one here. Oh no, the knock-up!
The Violet Requiem 2 and the AOG connects. Rins goes with the rough waves. It'll be a trade. Edok taken down. Now Cram's gonna be next on the chopping block. Ooh! A lot of turnaround damage. SRG are looking to capitalize.
The King needs to go! Dyron puts himself in the middle of the Monarch, and the rest of them down goes Innocent. The Mercenary takes him down off cam.
It becomes a 2 for 2. Skies gets a double. They're on the neutral objective. Skylar wants some smoke. Goes over to Cram. Slide tackle forward. Oh! Almost a goal. Almost.
Can they get it?
So Sutsujin baiting it out. Now walking forward. An assassination from the Mercenary.
He had his mark and he found it. The Mage Prodigy could not go anywhere. He committed everything. And now Cram staying alive.
Barely. Just barely staying alive there. Uh-oh, Skies, he didn't use a Retribution. He should still be able to contest this, but I don't know if he should. Edoc's walking up, and Sutsujin will be the one to claim the purple buff. What's the term?
Grand Theft Purple, baby. He is guilty. 3,000 gold ahead. It's the same story as game number 1. SRG, if you ask me, I think this lineup right here, it might actually be built better to come back.
Yeah.
I actually like it. The chances of this lineup coming back compared to game 1 is better. But watching this game, 8 minutes in, RRQ Hoshi are going faster. So will they even find that window?
I think it's a great point you brought out. SRG, they have a better comeback composition. But I could say the same thing about RRQ. They have fixed on the errors that they had in game 1. They have a better snowball composition.
Yep.
If they get the lead that they got in game 1,
which they're working to.
Very, very close to getting, I would say, in this moment of the game, right? 8 minutes, we saw a very similar amount of gold lead. Petrify! Oh, rough waves again! Innocent didn't even get the Purify out!
And now Yums pushed back. No dice for SRG.
Yikes!
That's what we're talking about. The Rins played the Odette prior, and now that it's the Kadira, who by the way just picked up the concealed boots, AOG coming through, Rins might get punished!
And he will ready set time! Edok! Finding Stormy in the backslashing him, and Skylar will just go with the balls, with the House Claws as well. Now Cram mounted up.
And now, Innocent, Spear of Destruction coming through, down goes the King!
Innocent in the midst of it all, Diamond going for Slam. Innocent with a blink again, Diamond not able to get the immobility. So Jin walking up, Skies with a stun, only onto Dyron. Electrifying beats as Innocent gets mounted up. Both going for the wrong or different targets.
Oh.
Skies in the bottom lane, juking away from Sutsujin.
Run, Sky Prince, run! One more! A shutdown by the Mercenary!
Oh, Dyron's got to be careful though. He chased a bit far. Spatial migration from Yums, and Dyron just Inibanchanas is it up.
Oh my lord. The Lord spawns here, upper quarter. About 9 minutes and a half into game number 2. The fact that RRQ Hoshi are now finishing what they start and they find their marks. Another one for Rins! Stormy goes, let me finish my sentence.
Kila Rins! It's very deja vu to the previous Kadita gods.
He follows a lineage of amazing Indonesian talents, and now on behalf of the King of Kings, he's looking to right the wrongs of game number 1. Even the orange here, Sekais is struggling to secure.
The orange buff taken away, Sky's not able or didn't need to go for the Retribution. And RRQ against Skylar, what is he looking out? He's looking at 3 items, almost 4, actually just 2 components too. So he's building enough to be a beast. That's a concentrated energy for Sutsujin. So wants a bit more sustain in these skirmishes, knows SRG can actually still threaten him in a lot of these dives.
RRQ Hoshi knows that they're sharing the core role. There's 3 main damage dealers on their lineup, and that should lead to more than just an inhibitor shield popping here. Oh no, Cram's in trouble.
AOG defensively in the back. Rins again jumps in with the rough waves and a Petrify, but it only connects on the Yums. Oh. Now the SOD to the back. Do they take it? That's a spatial migration, and Innocent's there. Edok walking up.
And they push back. The rest is super team, and SRG pushing back on RRQ as well. Innocent. No one goes except Dyron.
It's just Innocent, man. He's always on point. It doesn't matter that you've shut him down 3 times, Leo. 2 and 3, now he's building back.
Current net lead for his team at least. Number 3 overall. That's 7.8k on Innocent. Currently has the Trinity, but just the Trinity. Halfway through a rose gold dog. So that should help him against Sutsujin, should help him against Rins. But the truth be told, that's just an extra layer of protection, because once Innocent finds a window, you've seen it happen at least once or twice in this 12-minute game, he will SOD into the thick of it.
Okay. Cram? Yeah, RRQ Hoshi actually don't want to go in on that. I'm going to take a look at the items. Actually, Blade Armor and the Thunderbelt, those are the only 2 items that Edok has right now. He's building towards what I assume to be an Athena shield up against this burst of SRG. But yeah, these targets are still very squishy, right? Because I think Edok has more ways to deal with the Moscow, but now we definitely know why Dyron's been taken down 3 times.
Yep.
It's because he just doesn't have enough physical defense yet.
He's on his way to a Blade Armor, so that should spell disaster for Innocent. Even Sekais has to watch out for it once he, flicker splits, which he, by the way, has right now. I think they're all just posting up for this Lord spawning in the lower quarter. That's still about 5,000, 6,000 gold. Edok spots Cram, push him out of bush. I wonder if he knows. Not gonna fall for it. That bush set up by SRG.
Could have been a Kumar moment right there, Mr.
Massive.
Leo.
Could have joined that long list of Kumars building
Started
year
off
after
with the
year.
M5 World Championship Grand Finals.
Yeah. What is that currently? Like 6 or 7 dudes on that list.
I lost count, if I'm being honest with you, but Lord will be spawning back in the game. This is the second Lord of the game, an enhanced Lord, 13 minutes in. And I don't know, do SRG want to contest? I think they have enough tools to actually deal with this Lord still, but do you want to play that gamble?
I mean, we've seen them come back from much worse, right? Game number 1 was a 9,000 gold lead. Here at just 5,000, and again, a more comebackable lineup, it should be fine. Look at this from afar! Stormy gets caught by Rins, the full combo, and now Dyren putting Yums here into the grasp.
Oh, good flicker from Yums to cancel the slam, or the pass, bring back, and it will just be the Lord for RRQ Hoshi. Man, Rins has been on point.
That last update on Kadira, the force swing, the backswing reduction time, making that combo all the more elusive, cutting sentences, starting fights from out of nowhere. Stormy couldn't even flicker away. Look at that, 5 kills so far. 4 of those were off of Rins.
Yeah, and okay. I thought Stormy got tough boots for the tenacity, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. Enhanced Lord of the mid lane will be able to break the base turret. Raging Sandstorm from Edok.
In the thick of it, now he fights one. Sekai's has fallen. Selangor looking for the clapback.
Innocent walking up, Sutsujin with the damage. Over now, spatial migration from Yums. Unable to connect. Skyler, one last crit is all he needs. Innocent gets back to the base in time.
The conceal, allowing for faster movement, allowing for a re-engage, and now Sutsujin blasting them all. Yums the last one left. Immortality out, and that's a wipeout.
Rins! Gila Rins! An equalizer from the Kings of Kings.
Satu the score. We have a ball game.
RRQ Hoshi with the equalization in game number 2. And just like that, I mean, we kind of knew it was, we all predicted it was going to go all games.
Kadita banget. How did SRG not see this coming? We've seen it a couple of times in the Swiss, but now in the knockouts, what a breakout performance by Rins.
I think we gotta throw it to the panel for this.
I hope they talk about the Kadira plenty. Lafell, Wheezy, Trex, your turn.
Dude, that Kadira worked out. You guys ready for a long day? Because looks like we are, because this is a series. Satu Sama. Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about.
1-1, baby.
1-1.
1-1, baby. Satu Sama.
Hey, nice. But yeah, that Kadira though, we're gonna look at the items because, yeah, Stormy didn't build the tough boots did he? Because there was no reaction against that Kadira.
It was a problem. I mean, the setups were insane and definitely a good victory for RRQ Hoshi. Man, the pocket picks, though, that was an issue, even though they weren't able to pull off the victory. And now the Kadita was able to right the wrongs from game number 1. What a series.
So yeah, looking at the boots, it's demon boots so that Stormy can sustain in terms of the mana. But yeah, having no tough boots means you don't have the resilience, means that crowd control is 100% of the time is not canceled out. So that's part of the reason. The only one that really has tough boots is just Cram. Everyone else doesn't. So whoever gets caught by Rins is going to get deleted.
Yeah, and it would have been very helpful for Innocent as well for any moment, because I mean, just that little bit of time that you get from the crowd delay or crowd control gets shortened helps so much from that. And I think it's a good point that you brought up. And you think that, I mean, I get it, early game Stormy just having the demon boots, but then about halfway in, at some point, maybe swap them out, maybe change it up. Once the crowd control is getting too much, because it's not even just Kadita, it's Edok as well, landing those big raging sandstorms. It's Dyren. It is the whole package of crowd control that RRQ brought.
And Sutsujin on this Joy, which has been such a major threat, spearheading the way with the KDA. Able to get to the back line when necessary. You see not too many junglers, even on the 1v1, can go toe-to-toe with the Joy, as we are looking at some of those emblems pop up as well. Temple Rain on the Joy, able to get multiple of those skills on a faster cooldown rate to be even more effective, and just a total domination for game number 2.
Yeah, and if you look at the timer, it's only 14 minutes, 40 seconds, so maybe this is the strat. go up against SRG. Don't take too long.
Yeah, I think that's where they messed up in game number 1. There was a point where I think they had a clear route to victory, but they played the safe route. They were like, let's play smart, right? Let's play very disciplined. When I don't think the meta complements discipline right now for early snowball teams, right? We do see Rins pick up the pull yourself together to make sure that Petrify is just coming back quicker and quicker and quicker and be able to pop it more often. Taking a look at the gold, though, I mean, everybody played their part on the side of RRQ.
Yeah, and again, SRG not really having a chance for that. Because if we look at it, it's actually the turnaround, where in game number 1, Stormy was able to find Rins. And in game number 2, Rins found Stormy quite a few times, especially during that Lord fight, making it so that he doesn't really bring that big of an impact in the game. And we know that Joy is strong against the Suyo. And in this game, Susujin definitely shows like, that's what happened when the Joy is under-leveled. Look what happens when Joy is over-leveled. There's not much that Sakai's can do.
Yeah, and then Rins, I mean, there were several times when he was picking off Innocent, just caught out of position, right? It was like 3 deaths in a row super early in the game. But the interesting thing, for a while on the Moskov, Innocent was still doing more damage despite being behind. But then the later the game goes, you start to see Skylar pop off.
Yeah, so at this point, SRG, I mean, it's definitely tough. We do have any guesses on MVP? Who do we think deserves it?
Oh, dude, honestly,
Rins.
If game number 1, the MVP went over to Skies with that Joy, I kind of feel like in this game number 2, Sutsujin might get it, because it's time to drop the beat of the flash with Sutsujin showing off that Joy as well. And we see the 2 heroes being swapped around, both the Joy as well as the Bruno, looking very strong in this matchup.
Yeah, super strong pickup. Not too many answers for it, and we're starting to see it prioed heavily in the first phase of the draft from majority of the teams as we scale up higher toward getting closer to Oxiata, and it's kind of raising the question, is it worth even allowing this to walk, or is it almost worth adding it to the ban table?
Oh, it's very worth letting it walk. I think SRG, the big mess up was picking up the Suyo.
Exactly, I agree.
Directly after, or first picking Suyo, because we've seen the Fred able to beat the Joy.
Agreed.
There's a very clear rock, paper, scissors happening between those 3 heroes right now, and I think that SRG just made the kind of they made the same mistake that RRQ did in game 1.
I agree.
You prioed Suyo before Joy was picked.
Yeah. Especially because they had a chance to pick up the Joy first, which has been a trend since yesterday. But today, something switched up. They wanted to pick the CEO, but again, it is a best of 5. Part of the best of 5 is understanding your opponents. Where do their strength lies? Now they see the Joy, they see the Bruno, and they see the Kadita. We'll see how they adjust. But now we got to look at the highlights from Susujin. And from the very first part of the game, it's like, okay, they got Dyrant, that's good. But then Susujin just came in, and then look at the damage, man.
Yeah, that was just disgusting. Just talk about running into a brick wall and a Joy with the beat of the flash alongside it. Just a nasty combination. There's a double kill right there. Sutsujin on this Joy. This was a great play as well, man. The full dive into the turret for the pickoff as well. And this just really wasn't a moment at any point in this game where I feel like SRG had the opportunity or the advantage over Sutsujin on this Joy pickup.
You know, and if Sekaz was Joy in that last play, he would have got away.
Yeah, he would. He would. he might have gotten the kill. Right? If they switch heroes, he might have gotten killed. But yeah, I kind of feel like in this matchup, we should see more diversity when it comes to gold as well as the jungle as they start learning each other's patterns. Because Rins has already showed up in mid. It's like, yeah, I can use whatever. I got a Kadita. I got an Odette. What else? Eudora? Who knows?
Yeah, just another great game. What was interesting in that one, too, is like typically when the Joy comes up, you see counters, like hard counters, like you mentioned, the rock, paper, scissors, right? The Fredrin comes out, a Bellerit comes out, maybe even a Glue can come out to stop it. But in that game, it just didn't seem like SRG pulled anything to really stop the Joy.
It's a learning process. We got to see how SRG really comes up. But right now, for you guys at home, from the 18th of November all the way to the 29th of December, participate in the M6 Lucky Gift. Join the draw for a chance to win Claw's new Epic Skin, Challenges Flare, as well as Beatrix's new M4 Painted Skin. This is the time. It's only up until 29th of December. Don't miss this rare opportunity to get the Beatrix M4 skin. If you guys missed it the very first time, I already got the Claude one. Still haven't gotten the Beatrix one. Though the clock one is that I use my my coins for it.
Your coins for it. What's your favorite? Claude? Is that one your favorite?
I mean, based on rarity, you really want the M4 Prime Beatrix skin, which I do not have actually.
I don't have it either.
I don't have it.
You have it?
I liked the Yuzong.
I have the Yuzong, and I'm about to have the Claude Prime skin. I did not get the Beatrix one, but now shifting back into this conversation, because I agree with Trex. There's a rock, paper, scissors, and perhaps whoever shows their jungler first is gonna have a little bit of a rough time, unless of course if you ban the Joy, so the Suyo is a bit free there. Yeah.
There's and we saw that exact thing happen between FNOP and Falcon.
Yep.
In their drafting, they started. It was a big toss up between those jungler picks. So we'll see SRG if they also have the choice now to pick first pick or second pick. I keep forgetting that I can't say blue or red side.
You can. It's just like I just have to figure out which one is which.
So yeah, SRG has to pick between first or second here. And then it's all going to come down to that Joy. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, there are still answers, and I think that's what these teams are looking for. That's what SRG is looking for. They're saying, okay, fine, you might counter, like, jungle for jungle, you might counter, but we're going to counter your Joy with this, this, and this.
Yep.
But it's a big risk right now with how much of a carry certain junglers can be. And you add that up with the Bruno on top of it, it was a lot of merchandise over to RRQ.
And then another element is SRG's going to have to deal with Rins, right? The unpredictability of the mid lanes that he's been picking up so far. He pulls out the Odette, he pulls out the Kadita. And even though they didn't take game number 1, he performed, right? They need to find a way to get him uncomfortable so that he doesn't find these opportunities, these setups that have been massive for RRQ Hoshi.
Yeah, and as we're talking about the game, I'm actually looking back, and I see Eterna as well as Poji there on RRQ side. So looks like something's gonna happen down court side. So let's see, Eterna and Poji, are you guys there?
Ladies and gentlemen, are you not entertained? 1-1 right now. It's Eterna here and we smell blood. And it's not only on stage because things are getting even heated and even more intense in the audience as well. Right now, I'm with both side community leaders. From RRQ, we have Minda. Hi, Minda.
Hello.
And we also have Bob from SRG.
Hi guys, saya Bob, community leader untuk Selangor Red Giant. Woo! SRG! RSG! Selangor! Yeah! Bob character is like that. Bob character. Oh, sorry guys. Bob.
Dia ceritanya lagi cosplay. He's doing a little bit of a cosplay for the community leader for SRG, is that right? Yeah. Okay. So, Minda, right now it's 1-1. How are you feeling right now? Are you nervous? Do you think RQ can win this?
Yeah, I'm from Indonesia. I'm here to support RRQ.
All right. What about you, Bob? You think SRG can come back from this?
This is our home ground. This is Malaysia. For sure, we will go to grand final.
Okay. So 1-1 right now, and everybody keeps talking about that this is still a brawl server. So far, for the past 2 games, I'm going to start with you, Minda. Who do you think is better at the brawl server? Do you think RRQ has got it, or do you think SRG's got it?
Kalau saya rasa bukan brawl server lah. Dia orang main bagus. Dia juga main sangat keren. Meskipun di game pertama tadi kena comeback, ya cukup sakit. Cuman dia buktiin kalau di game 2 benar-benar bisa seperti RRQ yang kita kenal lah guys, gitu.
So Minda feels like it's not a brawl server. She thinks that RRQ has been playing really well. Despite losing the first game earlier on, they still are playing consistently and can still play consistent for the next coming games. Okay, what about you, Bob? What do you think, Bob?
Because for me, apa yang saya rasa, because we have already upgraded. Before we are easy server, now we are already at medium server. As been mentioned by Mobazin, so hopefully I just explain best of luck for both teams, but I'm more on Selangor Red Giant side.
What's the other half though?
I'm sorry.
It's peeking out a little bit. You want to cover that? You want to cover that a little bit? Okay. I think maybe you should like. There you go. Can we have a peek? What's inside? The kingdom wants to know. The other side.
Open it. What? Lepaslah tangan tuh bang. Apalah bang nih?
Okay, quick predictions. Predictions, please. Bob, we'll start with you.
It will be a close match, 3-2, but to Selangor Red Giant.
Okay. What about you?
3-2 tapi untuk RRQ Hoshi.
It looks like both are going to be agreeing that this is going to be a close best of 5 match. But before we throw it back to the panel to continue game number 3, let's do a little bit of a cheer battle. How are we feeling about that? Cheer battle? All right. Can we start with RRQ? You want to go first? Okay. All right, I'll give you the mic.
Semua suaranya ya guys. Oh macam nih. Lihat tengok abang nih lah. Oke, boleh. Tahu chantnya tahu? Oke. Semuanya. Viva! Viva! RRQ! Yay!
Thank you so much, Minda. That was amazing support coming in from the kingdom here in Malaysia. What is going on with you, Bob? It's peaking. Close it. Okay. Because we're going to go to, SRG now. All right? Let's walk over there. Can you walk slower for me, please? All right. Okay, SRG, are you guys ready? I'm going to give it over to Bob to lead the cheer battle. We heard from RRQ earlier on. So let's hear from SRG.
Ready ya? SRG! Saya tak tahu Bob tak datang. Okey, apa cantik dia? SRG! Malaysia! SRG. Thank you very much.
I like it. Very classy, huge support coming in from both of these teams. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to game number 3. Panelists, take it away.
Thank you very much, Eterna and Bob. No, the funny thing is Bob does exist, but that's not Bob. That's not Bob. But you know what? Shout outs to Bob either ways. Interesting coming in from the crowd. Looks like they say they're not Brawl server. They've been playing very well and everything. But I think Brawl server sounds nice though, because it really shows their eagerness to fight.
Ring to it.
Yeah, it has a ring to it.
Man, he looked like he had a split personality out there, right? RQ and SRG, the fans.
Shout outs to the merch as well. If you guys are here at IOI, you guys can get the merch. RRQ, SRG. You got both of them. Anyways, we have a quote here. I believe it comes from SRG, but not from the players, coach, or even the management. It's Stormy. Oh, it's Stormy. So 1 win away from the semifinals. He said, personally, being in the lower bracket doesn't scare me or make me nervous. We'll treat RRQ like every other team. Not to underestimate them, but to prepare thoroughly and play our usual game. I've always dreamed of playing on bigger stage, and I hope we can win this match to qualify for the lower bracket semifinals at Axiata Arena. Well, Stormy, Axiata Arena is a pretty big stage. So if you really want to win there, you got to win this one first.
But like you said, it's just another team, man. It's just another Wednesday. It's just another Wednesday. We're just dropping a match at 2 p.m. like it's nothing on a Wednesday, and that's exactly what Stormy's.
It's not really 2 p.m., but
whatever,
what? Some parts of the world it is.
Hey, yeah, exactly. I'm a worldly man. So is Stormy.
Worldly man.
He's definitely has a game plan, right? And that's what they're going to stick to for SRG. And I feel like it's what we've been seeing, right? It doesn't matter what team they go against. This plan is still the same, trying to find the opportunities and seizing it. And now, speaking of seizing the day, we got these two Titans fighting it out, and we got to see which way this goes. Is this the last seat for Axiata on the line?
But now we got to talk to Sisa Jin here, because we're able to chat him, M-chat, in fact. How do you feel being in your first M series? He said, I feel proud of my teammates for making it so far. I'm also grateful to them. They always help me whenever I make a misplay. He rarely makes a misplay, though, I got to say.
Yeah, Suchidin has stepped it up tremendously, I feel like. And what I wanted to see from RQ was more members being the star of the team than Skylar, and that's what we're seeing right now from RQ, at least in the previous game.
Looking at the stats here, everything is for Jin.
Yeah, he's slightly ahead of Sakai so far. Definitely an interesting read, right? A little bit better of the KDA, average GPM as well. And the objectives still lean in his favor, but I guess it's not too far out of the ballpark from what we've seen in the series today, right? I mean, even in the very first game where SRG was able to pull through, it was a rubber band effect. Most of the objectives did go into the hands of RRQ Hoshi, but where SRG shines is finding that window of opportunity. Cram and Yume's combination just being overwhelming, and as soon as they find it, they close the game out, and I guess that's why we're seeing the head-to-head be that way.
That was between the Mercenary against the Sky Prince. He got the moniker Sky Prince during MSC because the best jungler, finals MVP. But now Sakai's, it looks like he's having a hard time getting his footing because it's either MVP or not. And Sakai's really needs to be able to feel a little bit more comfortable in the game. And I kind of feel like he can't do it alone at this point. Yumes and Stormy has to give him a lot of space just so that he has more ways to enter the team fight, more ways to really shine as a jungler.
Yeah, I think you bring up a great point there with Yumes, Stormy, and Cram as well. I think the three of them need to be able to create that space for Sakai's and for Innocent, right? To be able to make sure that these two big damage dealers are able to set up for what they need to set up. Innocent, in the last game, we saw him finally lock in the Trinity build, but it was just a little bit too late, and he wasn't able to really pop off. He was trying, but just not enough. But we're going to be jumping into the third draft.
That's right, jumping into the tiebreaker. Both SRG and RRQ Hoshi tied 1-1. And now we got to ask the question, what are we going to do about this Joy, right? I mean, if you pick the Joy up, are we going to go for the hard counters? Are we going to go in for these Fredrins, these Bellerics? If that's a gamble that SRG wants to take, they are going to be on the blue side, which is a 2-pick swing for RRQ. We know that Bruno's been very impactful as well, but we've seen some answers such as the Granger. We've seen Skylar do really good on that, picking up the Sky Piercer super early and just being very effective. But so far, it's been the Joy that's been making the difference.
Well, Bruno banned up, so now
everything changes.
I'm wondering. The Joe hasn't been banned, and the Joy seems to be good on Sakai's. What's going to be the first pick here? Heck, the Jushin, but I don't know. Jushin hasn't been that super hot so far.
No, well, the Jushin did get banned. Jushin's out.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Colorblind.
Colorblind. I know. Do you even see the gray pictures?
What pictures?
My bad.
He's picture blind.
So,
Always on the way.
I'm wondering, I was about to say, what if they just Joy pick right up front? But then you still leave an opportunity for the Fred.
Which Susujin can
Cho
use
could be solid.
Hey, time to drop the big up. Yeah, time to try to beat him with Flash.
This is what FNOP did, but FNOP banned out Fred in first phase. So RQ, are they comfortable on the Fred? Are they on the same boat that works out? If they are, either way, I think they definitely lock in Cho here. We've seen them with Bruno gone. Maybe they go for a Wan in here. This has been a popular combo for them on second pick side. Suyo, Wan, Cho.
There goes the blue yo and the glue. Now, the glue has been effective, even on the Joy. I mean, we've seen just the stuns that it's able to provide, but there's still some counters on the table. I feel like the Joy first pickup's a good read from SRG, but yeah, it's definitely makes it a little bit easier for RRQ Hoshi to form some strategies around it. Now, Gold Prio could be into the hands of SRG now with the Bruno being off the table. Could go in for something like the Granger. We'll have to see how that plays out, but I gotta ask y'all the question, what do you think Rins is gonna do here, right? Because we've seen the Odette pull out. We've seen the Kadita be picked as well, and I mean, could be another Odette game.
Hey, he could go for something familiar and just pick up a Valentina. By the way, Trax, I just gotta say, we keep talking about the Frederick. Don't worry. One time.
It might not, but
that's not fine. One time, maybe one time, we'll get it.
Eventually, they gotta learn.
Eventually,
they
right?
gotta learn.
I mean, if we go 5 games,
literally, Joy's won the past 2 games against Suyo, but hey, man. Now, Jawhead's the answer.
Yeah.
Jawhead's the answer to the Joy, so very well done, I think, there.
In a way, the Farsa as well.
Yeah.
Unless you throw your wrong teammate, right?
Well, it's not SRG or Vamos that has the Jawhead, so, you know, odds are in favor of RQ here.
Well, there you have it. You're going to see the Farza picked up as well, so some artillery to work on SRG's side. Now, do they answer range with range as we go through the second phase of the draft?
I mean, when they previously they banned out the Eve as well as the far side. The Eve, I think, is still in quite okay band because it's hard. Like, do you want to ban the Odette? Like, is that a route that you want to go? Because it was pretty effective in game number 1, even though RRQ did lose.
Yeah, I don't think you have to ban out the Odette. I think the Farzal ranges it. I think you're pretty good. You can still play for late. I think banning into Skylar right here is important and pretty big right now, and I like the 1-1 ban. I'm just, the Jawhead is scary at this point, man, and we saw RRQ last time already went out in early game in game 1 against Joy. I don't think RRQ will make the mistake again of not closing out around that 12 or 13 minute mark. So we'll see. SRG, I want to see maybe a little bit of early game opportunity here, something to kind of help them push and make it through in that early game.
Yeah, we need to see some setups too, right? I mean, we have a lot of damage so far for the side of SRG, but we've yet to see what they're going to slot in that roam position. There's a strong frontline composition building up for RRQ with this Jawhead and the glue alongside it. So maybe going in for something like the high-lows could be very effective. Definitely give you a little bit of room for mobility, especially on these objective plays. Could be a possibility for the side of SRG. And then we also got to see what marksman will be slotted in. They already took out the Wan. Definitely worried about Skylar. And now they're going to take out the Irithel as well.
I like that. I like that because that pressures the Farsa as well. I'm really curious to see what roamer will Humes be using, because going up against the Jawhead, you can get picked off quite early in the game, and then we see what kind of snowball RQ can get for themselves. So I feel like EXP with the Gato being gone, I'm pretty okay with Cram using any kind of hero. I'm just worried about Humes. What does he have for this one?
It's a tough spot. I think I don't know if I don't know how well the Hylos is going to do against the Jawhead.
Called the Valentina, by the way.
Late game turnaround, Valentina's very clean. They get the feathered airstrike. They have opportunity. SRG. Did we see them pick up a Kufra?
Yes,
like a day or two
yesterday.
ago?
Not super flashy. It did its job, but nothing too crazy. But
Did it
definitely,
win?
win.
It just
Against
wasn't as
Happy Flash.
impactful, but it got the job done. I mean, hey.
I'm thinking about something that, just closes the distance quickly and doesn't have to sit in front of a Jawhead, Can actually kind of...
The Cho is not banned.
Cho's not banned. They could just go for the Cho here.
Because the Cho has been banned for quite a few games. That I was like, okay, don't even think about the Cho. But I wonder if Humes even wants it. He does.
Yeah, you heard that.
So it's not you.
Okay, we both got one.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
So EXP Cho, Kufra in the roam. Cho against Glue. I mean, at least you keep up in rotations. You can still pressure jungle a little bit. And the way that SRG's been playing the Joy is they'll send Joy down to EXP, and Cram will just be up in mid and top side. They pick up the Claude. How are we feeling about it?
Blazing Red Skylar! We'll see how it turns out, because so far the Claude hasn't been winning that many games, but this is Skylar where we're talking about. So thank you very much, gentlemen, on the panel. Mirko and Leo, I hope you guys are ready to receive the throw, because I might not do it. Nah, I'm going to do it. It's your turn.
Who's ready to throw? That Jawhead, and of course a few favorites coming in from the way back machine, because we're seeing old Kufra come back, we saw the Claude come back, and what a way to start off game 3 after we went in a 1-1.
It's a Farsa and a Granger, right? They picked that up really early, and though it's amazing obviously for zoning, you are quite susceptible to the dive, and RQ, they kind of like doubled down on that. They were like, if we want to dive, all of our heroes should dive.
They didn't just double down, they tripled down, they quadruple down. Every one of them does well when playing in the paint. Over the battlefield, Claude and Dexter look over as we go into game number 3. The Immortal Giants versus the King of Kings. One of these teams are Axiata bound.
Top 4 bound for both these teams. Well, for one of them, Skylar on a signature, you guys know what, Blazing Red from Skillar pick.
It's been a while since we last saw him pop off on the old favorite, so this should be a treat for all those long-time King Skylar fans. As for SRG, they brought out this Kufra, which saw play last night. So that was a treat for all y'all Malaysian goat heads all around. Stormy here, popping the wings of wings early on. And because of that diversion, because of that little sequence, it gave the mercenary free reign over the Little Wanderer.
SRG now able to go for the gold crab too. Okay, secures it with the Soul Sever. It's Festival Blood and the Rupture, so nothing too crazy here. Skylar also quick with it. Warrior Boots and Tenacity. He knows exactly how much of a bully this Granger can be in lane. So decides to respect it with the common emblem too. More HP and mana regen.
That's
well,
right.
no mana. It's just HP now.
Just HP. Took it out in the last patch. The young king knows that he's going to be trading blows with the half-man, half-beast. Let's talk about the XP lane matchup. What does this look like to you? Dyron on the glue. Played it 3 games in a row now versus Kram's Cho.
I think it's a non-lane. It's literally just a battle for Kram shoving the wave and rotating. For Dyron, same thing.
Yeah, clear, I'm out of here. Clear, I'm out of here.
Yeah, but if Kram shoves it wrong like this, it could be a free situation and he could be punished just like that. I think he might have to miss out on a bit of minions there, but RRQ are very quick with this level 4. They want to get it. Yom's already screening Sutsujin in the purple buff.
And that is Stormy hitting level 4 first. Yum stretching out, going the opposite direction. Edok threatening an ejector. Now Sutsujin just secures his purple, making a beeline towards the turtle.
Oh, for their airstrike in the mid lane. Is this a solo kill? Stormy taken down. Rins, what has gotten into you?
Momentum off of that game 2 Kadira. Now he's taking names. Heads are rolling. Kram can only watch as RRQ Hoshi secure the turtle.
What has gotten into Rins? Sutsujin gets the turtle.
Who is this man?
Who is this man? Rins has been popping off. I don't know if it's momentum, if it's just Rins, the average Joe Rins. Has this just been him all the time in scrims?
Something awoke in this young man after game 1. And this Kadira in his hands. Be careful and make sure that you see what ult he's taken, because I don't think even Stormy saw that coming.
No, definitely not. Didn't expect him to go and steal the feather airstrike, point blank him. It's a mortar, point blank mortar.
Blasted him like 3 or 4 times. There's nothing the Mage Prodigy could have done.
Let's see now. For RRQ, it definitely has to just be the slow game. And for SRG, I don't think they want to fight and look for skirmishes around the map either when there are no neutral objectives. So it's literally just going to be a battle farm. RRQ leading by only 200 gold. Kram walks up.
The quadruple dive isn't going to come into play just yet.
Yeah.
What RRQ Hoshi have walked away with in the first 2 or 3 minutes of this game is literally just stuff that came to them for free. That means they're just waiting for Skylar. The long-term investment, and now Edok gets caught.
Great turns revenge and the range. Stormy gets on the board. Sky stealing the purple buff away, despite the retribution from Sutsujin as well.
That's a big dub for SRG across the map. Now, that's a 3v2. Rin gets a face full of lead.
Purify out. Innocent doesn't have the Death Sonata. Not the last one. Their way the dragon. Over. Now Dyron, caught against 5 members, decides to go in. Split as well. The base fight. Does it save him? No, it does not. Kram just Jiku knows. Dyron to his demise, to his death.
There were 5 members of SRG there. There was a thin line between dying and getting the mount onto one of them. But truth be told, there was very little reinforcement from RRQ. So back-to-back-to-back engagements. SRG caught them lacking, and now here we go, another one!
Blazing away from Skylar, ejector, and the flicker. Yum's gonna be taken down. Meanwhile, Sky's diving in deep, getting the electrifying beats over to Skylar to take him out.
That is Skylar for Yums. I'll tell you now, SRG are cooking. SRG looking to take this turtle down to half its health.
4v4, Stormy was traded off. Ooh, that was close. Sutsujin this time doesn't want to be too stingy with the retribution, decides to take it, and that is 2 turtles for the kingdom.
SRG a little more conservative now. They understand that if they overextended here, that little win that they got in those previous engagements would have been nullified. So RRQ Hoshi here holding on to the fact that they have 2 turtles, holding on to the fact that with this lane swap, should be a slightly safer go for Skylar going into the mid-game.
Okay, so it's a trade of Sutsujin with the stun over to Skies. Retribution this time. Not too sure who actually got that. If it's Skies on solid force. No ejector just yet. Skies with the red. Oh, he's gonna get retribution and taken down. Skylar is the one who they give the kill to.
So Dyron for Sekai's big wins.
Ouch.
Sutujin bullying Cram into that river brush. And look at this. Innocent gets free farm up top. The delayed trade down bottom for King Skylar. This puts him now in a comfortable position, about, what is that, 600, 700 gold behind Innocent, so he's catching up.
It's a turret for turret trade on the board. Edo might be caught again. Oh, Cram, I think walked up a bit too early there. Jones is already charging that Tyrant's Revenge in the bush, and it becomes a failed attempt of a pickoff. Edo will be able to get a bit more tempo around these bushes here. Innocent shot the Rhapsody, so they know their positioning. Rins goes in for the airstrike, catching Rins just a bit. Ejector over.
And that is Rins blasted here. No clapback. Hume's coming in for the combo.
Revenge and Rage in the back, so Jinsu able to go for the dive. Yums very low. Mounted on. Tyrant gets the kill back. It is a 1-for-1. Yums for Rins.
Mid for Rome. I'll call it a win for SRG. And RRQ fails to find the clapback. It looks like the call for the King of Kings is to just go for the turtle. It's been working out for them so far, right? Even if they're losing on fights, they go for the objectives, they focus on getting farm on Skylar, and now Dyron finds the engage.
Cram getting poked out for the airstrike, comes down, no Dyron! Might be caught, pops in the split, on solid forces, Skylar blazing duet on the Purify! Skylar, BMI backward skies!
Finding the King, pops him, and Cram looking for the kick, gets the Purify out, and Humes!
With a Tyrant's Revenge! Now with Skies wiping him out in his head! Wants to go! And he gets the Maniac!
Half man, half beast, all guts coming through with a late game play at 7 minutes.
That was a wipe out, folks! In the 7th minute of the game, RRQ Hoshi tried to battle with the Red Giants, but they ended up getting stomped to the ground.
John Vincent Banal, also known as Innocent, walks into the kingdom, brings out his guns and says, put them up. I'm taking y'all down.
We gotta get the replay. We gotta watch that for a second time, man. What happened in the skirmish?
I'll tell you now what happened. Humes looked into the future and said, Innocent, I got you. So they got scrambled up over here. Cram forced out a Purify, and then that was the go signal. The green light for Humes to catch two with the Revenge and Rage, and Innocent to just start blasting people into the back line.
And those were Sky Piercer stacks, buddy. It wasn't just kills. Oh my goodness, Cram. Almost finding an angle to get Sutsujin, but he blinks just in time. Now, RRQ Hoshi find themselves in a situation that they place SRG in both 1 and 2.
If anything, this is a better look for SRG than anything Game 1 look for the Kingdom, especially for Innocent, specifically for Innocent. What is this, 8.5 minutes in and already 6 stacks? Plus, the Malefic Roar built off the back of that Maniac.
Yeah, Skylar's not going to be able to walk up just like that. Rins gets punished too. Yums is healing off of Rins' damage. Yeah, that gold lead is playing a big factor here in game number 3. SRG, they can smell match point already. And for RRQ, it's the long game that they have to play with a Jawhead. That's not a good long game.
They have to hold out. And when a Jawhead is forced to hold out, when a Jawhead is used as a defensive tool, that's no bueno. RRQ Hoshi have to find pickoffs. I think counterintuitive to what the situation calls for, I'd say RRQ should, do this, try to get one on Cram, maybe on Sikais, but it looks like it's a non-starter. Sutsujin isn't even getting his buffs.
Nah, it's not. They can't walk up. Cram actually went for the way to Dragon, though the angle was off. Skies was able to steal away the purple buff, and this is a level lead for the Sky Prince. So for RRQ, the big question is the question we've been asking for SRG. Do they want to contest the Lord this time in game number 3, right? They're so far behind, but I think with this kind of composition, they might have to gamble with the Lord contest.
I'll say, just make sure Skylar is in the clear, right? Do the dance if you have to. Put Dyron up in front. Put Edok up in front. He has a flicker, so maybe you can, I don't know, go back to as far as 2021 and TikTok play out of something. Do it to Cram. Cram has been putting himself in harm's way. It's actually Humes who's been hiding in bushes more often. So that's, I think the reason why these turnarounds are happening. Why that big play from Innocent happens because of the way Humes just caught 2 dudes.
Golden Staff for Skylar. That's the 3-item power spike, but he has been outscaled out of that power spike, I feel, SRG have that snowball building, and that's a BOD that Innocent is almost complete. In 10 minutes, 4th item BOD? Oh, Innocent's gonna hurt.
before the 12-minute mark. Might even be after this Lord spawns immediately. This BOD is going to be built.
There you go.
There it is. He's just farming, power farming here.
That's a 2,000 gold lead between the gold laners.
Lethal pokes. And look at this, can't even stand in the Y brush.
No.
Dyron is a passive push off camera, but that's all that RRQ can get as SRG secures the Lord.
Just one Death Sonata, and you can see how much damage it does to Skylar. If he walks up against a Feathered Airstrike plus Death Sonata Rhapsody, I don't know. I don't know, man.
And that's what puts King Skylar in such a predicament. He's forced to build the Wind of Nature ASAP
Rose Gold?
Go this way, Rose Gold. Because at least to him and to RRQ, the real threat is Stormy. The real threat is Sekais. The whole innocent situation can only really happen if everything is set up for him.
Yep.
So, I'll tell you now, this is a solid go. They're focusing on what's important. They catch Edok.
Wave the Dragon from Cram. Edok caught all alone. Has the flicker, but Skies will just pick this kill up. No flicker necessary from Edok, and Skies just assassinates him. 5.5k gold lead. Cram is looking for more. Doesn't have the flicker anymore, but this should still be a good angle for him to attack. Lord taken. Oh, that's another. Dyron will body block the second shot. Sutsujin is down below.
The Mercenary just on his way back. Holy Shield pop. Wave cleared. Dyron looking for a mount. There's the Feathered Airstrike!
That's payback! And more! Innocent gets the Death Sonata. Again, the Sky Piercer on him. Cram with the way the Dragon over to Sutsujin. This time Skylar with the blazing blue one again. BMI to the back. Stormy taken down.
And that's more on the docket. Triple right now for SRG. And the trade-off, Sekai's shut down. The assault ends. The siege quelled for now. The kingdom still stands.
3 for 2 in that trade. On top of the 3 for 2 that SRG won, they got the base turret. And that will be the far lane base turret away from the Lord. An enhanced Lord is waiting for SRG and for RRQ Hoshi. The longer the game goes, it's getting more and more desperate.
It's still worth it. I'll tell you now, what RRQ committed to and got away with, they were going to lose that turret either way.
Yep.
So the fact that SRG are reeling from their loss on Cram, rather on Sekais and so on. Wait, Edok gets an ejector.
Purify away the Dragon. Edok gonna be taken down, but the airstrike coming down. Oh, Yums cancels it, and Innocent guns him down. Dyron.
He's not gonna get away from this. Yums committing the rage. Popping Dyron's immortality. Serving up the triple to Innocent. Oh no, Sekais is in the base.
Electrifying beats from Skies. RRQ still able to get 2 members to survive, but this is 5 of the Giants.
They can smell it right now in the water. Blood for the Giants to scoop up and end right here.
For the airstrike and the way the Dragon over to Sutsujin. The mini waves, it's a big cannon minion. It will be cleared out. Edok walks up with the ejector, now gets Yums as well. Skylar with the blazing duet out to Yums. It'll be a kill over, that's 2. And out the better airstrike. Innocent again will gun Rins down.
The punish. RRQ Hoshi kicking out SRG from their base. And once more, the siege ends. Not out of the woods just yet, but RRQ Hoshi bleed and fight for this chance to defend.
Now it's 2 for 2. Rins and Sutsujin down. Skies and Yums down. Sutsujin will be spawning back a bit faster. RRQ, do they utilize this timing to go for the Lord, to go for a fight? That's a feather airstrike to sneak up on Edok. Cram goes over to Kundo. Might get caught. Unstoppable force and the ejector over to Cram. Now it's Skylar's damage with Melvic gun in the way the Dragon comes in. Sky Piercer also 1 for 1. Down with the flicker. Innocent gets out. Blazing duet from Skylar over to Stormy. It's not enough range.
Dyron with the split right now. Barely alive. Innocent pushing back. Firepower. The answer to firepower. And that's Skylar building up slowly but surely. This Lord looking as contestable, as 50-50 as it gets for this 15-minute match. So far, so good. Rins here should protect himself. He's been caught 5 times now. Has no ideal ults to steal.
Oi.
Stormy keeping himself scarce. Lord now resets here. Where does this dance go?
Goodness. Look at that poke.
No!
Innocent evaporates Tyrant. And now Rins is next. Innocent is going crazy. Another one for Innocent.
3 for free. The half-man, half-beast has gone hunting. And 3 heads roll. The base One more turret protecting it. Ain't gonna wait for the Lord. SRG marching in.
There's no man, there's just beast. Innocent goes in, Skylar with a blazing duet, shut down by Innocent. That's an unofficial savage for the beast of Malaysia.
IOI erupt as SRG approach match point. One more game for them to make it to Axiata.
You try to catch him, you try to find ways to beat him, but he's too damn innocent.
You can't put down this beast. 19 kills on Innocent. 2-1. RRQ Hoshi, their pilgrimage is at trouble.
He broke the most kill record. It was Skylar who had it.
Let's talk the analysts.
With 1906 KDA, I feel like we should skip forward and just say he's probably the MVP. I don't think I need anyone to let me know, because I feel, am I crazy to think that he's the MVP?
Not at all, not at all. You know how you always stay innocent? You never get caught.
Yeah.
In this game, he never got caught, not once. 19-0, that is a brand new record.
Oh, yeah.
We had the trivia the other day. 17 kills was the most in a game.
Whew, and it was Skylar.
Well, now he holds... And it's Skylar,
Yeah.
so he just
And
took,
yeah.
he took the record from Skylar as most kills in a game.
He got a maniac and an unofficial savage to close it out as well. Talk about a flashy play. I mean, there were so many highlights in just that game alone that I thought we may have seen a Kadena play of the day.
Hey, you know what? Without that Bruno, Innocent feels good. It's like, oh, no Bruno in my face? Let me pull out that Granger. But before we talk more about him, because he's the MVP, let's just make that clear. We can talk about it a little bit more later. I kind of feel like Skylar, in the early stages of the game, he used the Blazing Duet maybe a little bit too aggressively, giving a lot of opportunities for SRG to deal out damage onto him specifically, and then eventually getting all those kills.
I think the problem is as well with the Blazing Duet is sometimes it puts this false idea in the rest of your team's head that, okay, it's time to dive. You know, all right, let's keep this fight going. Blazing Duet just showed up. You know, backup just showed up. And then they stay a little bit too long, and we saw in one of those final few fights after the Blazing Duet, they all try to run away, but SRG just catches up to him. Yumes gets the knock up on 2. The rest of the team able to follow up as well, and that was kind of the big moment where SRG just took full control.
And now we're seeing a shift for SRG, right? It was the rubber band effect in the beginning, but now it's more like we're controlling the early game. We're being the aggressors, and we're just going to win overall on these objectives. We're just going to do better.
Yeah, and Rins as well. First blood, it was great against Stormy, grabbing the far side. Oh, but then after that, not really doing all that well. Maybe it's just because you fought against a Valentina quite a lot of times. You roughly know the patterns. Going up against a Nodet, going up against a Kadena is a little bit more unknown. So maybe that's also part of the win for RRQ when they're using a hero that SRG is really not that comfortable with. It's not like super OP or anything like that. It's just that you don't go up against it often.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. Rin's 1-6-1. I just noticed how rough of a game he had, and Dyron as well. And that's not uncalled for with Dyron, right? 1-6-1. Dyron's very willing to kind of put his neck on the line as long as the rest of the team profits off of it. But it just felt like with Rin's down so low, Skylar is their only damage dealer, and the Claude already isn't, you know, the biggest. He's not a big damn dealer, right? He's more of a shredder, and even that we've been questioning throughout M6. It just felt like RQ had nothing to really lean on as that game moved more and more forward.
Yeah, I mean, Rins was really the opener in the beginning matches, right? With the Odette pickup, the Kadena pickup, and now on the Valentina, just a lot of pressure that did not work in his favor, and you can see a major difference in this game. Innocent.
You know, my wife asked, did Innocent did the most amount of damage because he did 100K yesterday? Well, today he did 122. That's big damn.
You know, what's another thing about that is we see that type of damage sometimes from gold laners, but the fact that he got 19 kills means just about all of that probably landed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just about all of that damage was, I mean, kill damage. And
it's lethal.
Lethal damage, you know? It's definitely,
Sky Piercer.
Dude, like, I will see a lot of Granger in my ranked games, and I'm not even mad at it. Granger is a fun as hell hero, man. And I believe that Bruno has been respected with the ban. Joy might also be on the chopping block. Or Fredrin finally gets picked up. But now, let's look at the MVP. We already know who it is. Half man, half beast. You can't catch him because he's Innocent. We see Simon there, but look at Innocent with that Granger. 1905. 122,000 damage. He's too damn innocent.
A brand new record stolen from Skylar's hands there. And at the end, even just, you know what, we're dropping the boots. We're going full damage. We're going to finish this game. Sometimes we have trouble closing out games with Granger. Well, not this time.
Just kill everyone.
Just kill. That's the goal, right? You just kill
That's
everybody.
it. That's all you got to do. Just be aggressive and beat them to the punch. And that's exactly what you see today from Innocent. And that means that SRG has the advantage for the series.
Match point. Just need one more. But we expect full games here. So RRQ is probably watching that game. Kesku is probably watching that game. It's like, I see where we should attack. And that's going to be the turnaround for the fourth game. But now we got to look at some of the highlights coming in from Innocent and pick whatever you want, because there's a whole lot of it. Heck, there might be 19 of it.
There might be 19 of them is right. And even in the early game, RRQ Hoshi continues to try to kind of close that distance, but Yumsun does such a good job at just having them focus on him so that Innocent's consistently getting these free shots off. And when Yums isn't able to do it, Cram as well is finding those moments. And this is that big fight I was talking about where the Blazing Duet comes in, RRQ Hoshi tries to follow up behind it, but then the turnaround from SRG here, and watch for Yums, the double knock-up, and this is when it's cleanup time for Innocent.
Yeah, RQ dropping like dominoes right there in the funnel toward that top side, and Innocent just on fire. And credits over to Sakai's as well on this Joy, right? Even though it didn't have the hot seat in this game, it was very effective. I mean, he was dealing a lot of damage, which kind of led to those stacked up kills from Innocent.
Yeah, and looking at the highlights, again, Innocent, he has good positioning to stay out of danger, but you see his HP pool go down quite a few times, so he's not afraid to take some damage to dish back some of the damage again, and more often than not, that Purify really helped him out, because without that Purify, I'm pretty sure he got caught like a bunch of times, man.
Yeah, just overall
well played.
A great game and a good position for SRG in this series, now having the advantage 2-1 up against RRQ Hoshi. What are they going to do about this, right? I mean, man, who would have thought to take the record away from Skylar with the most kills?
You know, I got to say, too, the Kufra pick also came out pretty clean. It stops sometimes from Dyron being able to engage and escape. It stops sometimes from Suchijin being able to dash through and dash around because of the bouncing ball. It just worked so well. And once again, I mean, it's literally just Innocent collecting kill after kill after kill. And if you have trouble focusing the base, all you got to do is wipe out all 5 members and it becomes easy.
Dude, like, a few of those clips, absolute cinema, right? Like following the Joy to kill the Valentina and be like, oh wait, the Lord is there. Boom, and then just went for the Lord and got Sutsujin. It's like, dude, he was clean with that. Very clean.
It was just overwhelming, right? There was just so much to deal with. You have the Farza dropping down the feathered airstrike. You have a Joy chasing down your backlines. You have a Cho with the G-Cut and Do, not to mention you have a half-man, half-beast on the Granger.
I would say out of all of Arcadia's and Vicky's draft, that might be the best. Might be the best draft from SRG in the M6 so far.
Yeah, I think it was a very, I mean, even up front picking the Joy is kind of, when we started M6, if someone first picked Joy, we'd all be like, what are they doing? Like, what? This is ludicrous. This is bonkers. But now it's like, oh, this is genius. You're a madman.
You're a madman.
Big brain plays.
But now, after 3 games, we're going to give some time for the players to adjust because possibly might be the final game. So we're going for a 5-minute break. But after this, we're resuming to see who will take this series away. We'll see you guys in 5 minutes.
モバイルレジェンド M6 スイスウォッチ明治Hello Panda semua suka biskuitnya Biskuitnya enak isinya lezat rasa coklat dan strawberry Hello Panda semua suka biskuitnya Biskuitnya enak isinya lezat rasa coklat dan strawberry Hello Panda biskuit isi yang enak
Welcome back, folks, and right now we are at match point. Selangor Giants has a 2-win lead over RRQ that has 1 win. This is a best of 5, so 1 more win, and Selangor Giants will get the final ticket to go to Axiata Arena. The question is, can RRQ come back and push us to game number 5?
That's the $1 million question, and I think everybody is wondering, what is the response back from RRQ Hoshi? What is Skylar gonna do and the boys to stop this half-man, half-beast on the Granger and these Joy pickups?
Listen, if I was Skylar, I wouldn't take that.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't let my record be taken.
I'll get 20 kills.
I'd get 20 kills next game, exactly.
Right.
With -1 deaths.
-1 deaths. Right now, let's look at the coaches here just to see the differences between both coaches in terms of their preference when it comes to first pick, second pick, and of course, etc. We have to see the Bruno does get banned. The Joy has to be respected either banned or counter pick. And looking at here, looks like first pick, Coach Keski really likes that first pick, but second pick rate, Coach Arcadia has been looking pretty good. But in this particular matchup, both have really liked that first pick because you get a priority over the Bruno or the Joy. Looking like that's the big pickup. 1 for 2, that one is looking very good.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Arcadia winning out on second, RRQ winning out on first, which is really, it's interesting to me. I think that's kind of, it's came more in as we went into knockouts and everything. But I want to look at these top 3 picks because RRQ, early on in the tournament, they loved that Cho, they loved that Katap, but we haven't really seen any of those picks from them in this series so far. It's been heavily on the Glue, and then either the Joy or the Suyo, right? And the Bruno as well. But I think Irak on the Cho really just worked well for him, and I think RRQ maybe needs to get back to some of that, get back to some of that possible pick play, some of that possible, you know, attack-type play style.
Yeah, because SRG, man, their foot is on the gas right now, and they're not letting off, and this is different than what we've seen in the first few matches of this series, right, where they were just bouncing back toward the late game. Now they're in the driver's seat.
I mean, it comes back to when Innocent was on that Roger. He's really going for those kills in the early game and then just snowballs out of control. So maybe the Granger is the next Roger that he really likes. And then we see, as long as Stormy has a long-range hero that can back him up whenever he wants to go in for this fight, and then Cram being able to set up as well. The fact that he's shown that he can use the Cho, even though some of those Way of the Dragon is a little bit off angle, but I feel like it still served the purpose. Like, I kick you away from your buff so that I can take the buff. A kill is a bonus, but the buff is really the things that they've been aiming for.
I would say SRG right now, that draft, it's like the master of all elements, right?
Yeah.
You have the AoE from the Farza, you have the die potential from the Joy, you have the damage from this Granger, on top of that. And then you have even more dive potential with the Kufra pickup, with the Cho as well. Just so much against RRQ Hoshi, and they have to find an answer to deny this.
Yeah, right now I want to look at the MVP rankings, because here in M6 we just want to see who's on top, and it's Innocent, Skylar, Aaron, Shiki, Kelra, and these 4 people.
Four-way tie.
Four-way tie for number 1. Right now you see Innocent there, but Innocent, Skylar, Aaron, Shiki, Kelra, all gold leaders have 5 MVPs, and then you just have Suzuki with 3. And then
So
we have a
Innocent gets it again. He steals that from Skylar as well.
Just taking away from Skylar. Fun fact, Innocent now holds the record for highest kills, 19 in a single game. Highest KDA, 24 in a single game. And the highest kills with 0 deaths in a single game in the M Series history. He has 3 records.
All in one game.
All in one game.
Look, if I'm Skylar right now, I'm getting that MVP. I'm telling the team, give me the kills. Give me everything. It's time to put that crown back on.
Rinse. Use Dreadnought armor. Rinse, just use Athena shield. Let me feel all the damage.
Exactly. Yes.
Syzygen on that box cell or something. I don't know. Give me the kills.
Commanding the lords.
You know what? Let me use the red tree.
So, I mean, that essentially means that we just witnessed possibly the greatest game that Innocent has ever played.
Yep.
Could be the greatest game he ever plays.
If it gets better than this, I don't know what else has to be done. Like, I can't imagine it being better than this.
Yeah, I don't. It's very true. So we are going to be jumping to the draft now. RQ takes first pick, blue side.
Okay.
SRG on the red side. No Bruno ban. Cho ban from the side of RRQ. Hilda, Matilda. Joy still open. SRG's giving him the bait again. Take that Bruno like you did in game 1. We're going to take the Joy.
Yeah, Innocent's like, you know, I'm liking the Granger. Innocent be like,
I'm feeling good in the Granger.
I feel good in the Granger. You know, let me shoot him with violins.
If I'm RQ, I think I first pick the Joy.
I would take the Joy. I agree.
Race against
But no, they pick up the Bruno. They pick up the Bruno here.
Okay.
So Joy and what did they do last time? Joy Gatad or Joy? Game 1 was Joy. Can't remember second pick. It was Joy. Either way.
Either way.
They go Joy Gatad here.
I feel like
they go Joy Hylos. They go Joy whatever.
All are strong options, but for certain...
Joy Farsa, was it?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, Joy Farsa was the first 2 picks.
Or they might have third picked the Joy because they gave it back and RQ still took Suyo.
Oh, yes. Either way. What?
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Potato, tomato.
What am I even here for?
Yeah.
The question is, after this
They're taking
Joy
the time, by the way.
comes up, what does RRQ do?
What if they don't pick it up? Time to try to beat the Flash and the Ranger.
So now if I'm RQ, I mean, personally, what I would do at this point is pick Fredrin.
Oh my
Because, it has beaten the Joy multiple times.
Fredrin Glue then.
Fredrin Glue would be great.
Or Fredrin
Anything
Tigreal.
but Suya.
Oh, man.
And then they pick up a Bane. Actually,
Bane could work.
Yeah, Bane might be
I'm pretty sure we saw the Joy get beat by the Bane.
Yep.
Or we saw the Suyo get beat by the Bane. We know the Bane is viable at least.
We know for certain, too, though, with SRG, when it comes to Cram, when it comes to Yumes, they're going to go in for these dive potential heroes, right? They're going to go in for that Gatad. They're going to go in for that, well, the Cho's gone, so there's a little bit of limited capability there, but they pick up the Khalid and the Farza, which means...
They're going for a Bane last pick or something different.
Their mid duo.
They're going to pull 5, yeah.
Their mid duo is very strong.
And that's viable. I'm not against that at all. I don't think they have to rush because, if you're not going to pick the Suyo, you don't need to rush jungle at this point. You can kind of lock in some other important picks, and Khalid is great right now, especially against the Granger and everything. You can get to that back line, and so it's a nice start for RQ here.
I wonder what does Stormy want going up against the Farsa, because honestly, Farsa has been pretty strong in this matchup so far. I kind of like against Farsa playing range with range, but looks like they're going to pick up the Gatad first, keeping Stormy's hero a secret, because if he wants, he can still pick up something cheesy like the Veil.
Yeah, we saw that actually.
Yeah, I mean, even a Guinevere could sneak up in here. You never really know what's going to happen, but for certain, we know SRG likes the double dive composition, especially disrupting team synergy, so something that RQ is going to have to look out for. Now, we are looking at the Granger-Bruno combination again. Typically, we see the Granger just be a little bit more effective, at least lately, especially after last game. But as we are moving forward, range with range, that's the million-dollar question right now. Do we go with this Eve to pair up against this Farza, or do we go for something like the Valentina to take the feathered airstrike, or do they try and go for something else entirely to disrupt it?
There you go.
At least they know.
They know.
They know.
They know.
They know.
They see it coming. And then after this bad Bane or something, and then forcing out a Suyo.
Yeah. Or like something weird like a Ling or something like that.
Yeah,
you
Ling.
force them into some sort of assassin pick there. RQ banning out the Eve. I think on SRG, yeah. I mean, you could definitely ban the Bane, ban anything here at this point. Any other assassin and just hone down even more. Try to force him into.
Hayabusa maybe as well.
Hayabusa, yeah.
Yeah. So far, Joy, by the way, has a 100% win rate today. I'm just talking about today, but he has 100% win rate in 3 games.
And it's like always against Suyo.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's true.
That is fair. That is fair.
And Suyo's still on the table. Hopefully,
oh, they banned the Suyo.
Oh,
so they
okay.
still respect it.
They still respect it. I
Still
mean,
respect it.
because even in game 1, it almost won the game.
It
you know?
is, yeah.
Okay, so the Joy walks again for SRG. It's
RRQ
definitely, even
ban.
though the last game it wasn't in the hot seat, it was the element provided to be able to dive into the backline, and the massive damage you can do in the early phase is just completely overwhelming. We don't really
Who said there are
have
no
the
shortcuts in life?
roamer locked down. I mean, it could be
Literally
Khalid Rome,
invented one.
possibly.
I feel like Khalid Rome is very strong. Paired up with the Farsa, almost impossible for you to win that mid duel.
You think maybe we see the Jawhead from SRG here?
Possibly.
Jawhead, Rome, something like that. I mean, Cram's been almost always playing the Gatot, so Gatot most likely EXP lane. He's done great on it.
I'm wondering what if just Kufra again?
Yeah.
What if just Kufra again?
Or save Rome for last pick,
Yeah.
and then
Just pick up your mid laner now. Yeah.
maybe they go Lui here, honestly. They could get crazy and go for the Lui here.
Yeah, the Lu Yi would be a good pickup here for SRG.
I wonder if he wants something like a Xavier.
Some sort of poke.
Some sort of poke, because we saw how Xavier and Granger interacts with opponents, and it's very tough. But they pick up the Edith, so they're still looking at the picks coming in from RRQ before considering what Stormy wants.
Which is smart, because they're pulling something away from RQ. If they would have locked in May, they can still... Varus has already been picked, so they can still save their mid lane here.
Oh, there we go. Hayabusa picked up for RRQ.
Forcing him into the Hayabusa.
Hayabusa is pretty strong against the Joy, but it's also one of those things where it's more of a skill matchup.
At least you have the quad shadows, right? When all else fails, I mean, you have a chance to get the 50-50 on the neutral objective, which could work in RRQ's favor. But that 100% win rate today for Joy is something you don't want to take lightly. Final pick for RRQ. Finally, we're seeing a little bit of an answer, but is it enough to stop this Joy?
It's a good draft, at least. It's a very good draft coming in from RRQ. And SRG, they have the final pick here, so they can potentially counter it. The question is, what is the counter? If they just want to go simple, they can just pick up a Valentina and call it a day.
Valentina's solid. You get the feathered airstrike. You get a lot of profit out of it right now. Again, you could go for the Lu Yi still and try to play macro, try to play the map, try to kind of catch them off guard non-stop. Aurora, I mean, anything really could fit here as long as they're ready to play around it. It just kind of is going to attract a different type of play style depending on what it is. But yeah, a lot of things work.
I would even say a Lunox would be kind of fun to watch here, especially up against the Hayabusa.
Yeah, the brilliance.
Flows as freely as the winds.
Oh!
Veil. Called it.
There's the
Call
veil.
the veil. Stormy
right.
with the veil. Fits his name. Bring in the storm. Has a lot of range. Can deal with the Farsa, but I gotta say, the damage is quite high. Thank you very much to our panelists, and time to blow it over to Mirko as well as Leo for this game.
It all comes down to this. One more game for Selango Red Giants to punch their ticket to Axiara. One more game for the King of Kings to play the game of their life, fighting for the chance to make it to Game 5. It all comes down to this.
It's all on the line now. Stormy on the Veil. We've only seen it once, but like LaFell said, it almost feels like this pick, this hero, is built for Storm E. It's a win, Stormy.
It's 100% win rate, given the small sample size, but as a last pick, Red 5 pick, it's gotta be the difference maker, and it's gotta be Selangor Red Giants going for the head as they strike down the King of Kings. But if we know something about RRQ, the Sang Raja, is that they don't go down so easy.
We'll have to see in this game. Sutsujin was given a signature pick too on the Hayabusa. It's something we don't see too much of in MPL ID even, but it's always kind of the go-to when they're in a tough spot. RQ will always go back to the Hayabusa of Sutsujin.
Throw in the Belerik into Edok as well, allows for that strong front line from Selangor Red Giants. Hell, even the joy in the hands of Sekais to actually just stop, and suddenly, Tyrant caught!
Oh, Earth Shatter from Yums! This time it starts off differently. It's SRG who get first blood, and it's Yums early on. Dyron shut down almost immediately.
Out the gates, the King of Kings stumble suddenly, and we didn't even talk about the matchups, lane to lane. XP, you know the story. Dyron rotated out a little too far. Gold lane though, they somehow end up with the Granger and Innocent once again.
19 kills just in the previous game here.
In the books.
19 kills was the record-breaking stat, by the way. If you guys are just tuning in, it was previously held by Skylar on a Beatrix in M4. I think it was a game up against the Onic ID team of M4. Sky's walking up Rins, forced to use the wings by wings. But yeah, Innocent took it away. 19-0 in the previous game.
Got to be quite the mountain to conquer for Skylar right now. His record taken away from him. Tournament life at stake in the face of this very hero, this very player, Innocent. Now mid lane, you see that a TKO was put onto Rins there, forced to go back. Is it really that bad? Is Stormy's Veil really that good against even an artillery mage like Farsa?
I guess we'll have to see. Good control from SRG to take it back from RRQ. Cram's gonna be taunted back. Yum's Earth Shatter actually finding Sutsujin. They have more prio over the turtle. Cram is still in the back, trying to go for the AOG. There it is. Shadow kill from Sutsujin. The Retribution as well, claiming it, but they've used a lot of resources down the Feather Airstrike and the Raging Sandstorm from Dyron.
Yum sent back. No ult, no Primal Wrath just yet. And that's a clear win for the King of Kings. Up now by about 500 gold. Dyron pushing them back even further.
600 gold ahead now, RRQ. SRG tried their best to get as much prio on the map. Yums plus Cram, Gatatkacha and Edith is actually a combination that we've seen more in MPLPH in the playoffs.
That's right. These are high priority heroes for the Filipino playstyle. So could this be Coach Arcadia, you know, digging deep into his arsenal going, hey, this combo works. It's such good prio in team fights. You have great disengage. The range and the coverage that you have for your CC is also very good. But Sekais here dodging that last salvo.
Oh, you gotta just hold your breath there. Sky's almost falling towards that feathered airstrike. It was almost a good read from Rins, trying to predict the dash, but it was outside of range. SRG, now they're playing on the back foot, right? It's something that they are quite comfortable doing, actually. We've seen game 1 all the way to game 3. Up top, though, it's Yums who picks up the gold crab.
It's this pace that I think SRG will feel more at home in. And oh, wait, Yums flickers underneath, saves himself from almost sure doom. I think this is RRQ understanding what I was about to say, that SRG, if you don't push them up against the wall like this, if you don't apply pressure, then they'll just farm up on Stormy, farm up on Innocent, and it'll be the same story. Hell, I'm not even considering Sekais as a core. He's so useful and so used to just playing from the back as a joy that it doesn't matter. I think the real cores here are still Innocent and Stormy.
He finds those moments in the team fights anyways, right? But I don't know, this time around, how much of a scaler is the Veil? I think that's a question we gotta throw out there. Stormy consistently throughout the wins of SRG in the series has been on the late game picks. Is Veil a late game pick, do we think?
I'll tell you now, he's more of a mid-game power spike because he has the utility that the Farsa doesn't.
Yeah.
But at the best times in the team fights, double Genius One.
Double G.
So I think, this is safe to say that mid-game is where Stormy really is going to power spike because of the Genius Wands on both of them. Sutsujin, first item built is the Sky Piercer, just a passive Valkyrie hammer. Oh, here we go.
The taunt brings them into the Raging Sandstorm. Cram still able to escape. Skies at the back, jumping in. Rather try it was saved by Edok. And now they get caught in it. Stormy too. It's still gonna be the few of those beats from Skies.
And they retreat. Cram and Skies down to a fifth of their health. In comes Dyron, slashing away. Scimitar to the face. And Cram looking to repair the situation in a different front. Innocent finds Edok.
Oh, he's gonna look for more. That's a flicker from And just like in game number 3, Innocent is online very early. That's a double. Diamond's looking for a few more shots. Skylar up top takes the turret. It is give and take. It is always a trade.
RRQ have to lock this man up. Multiple counts of murder from game 3 onto 4 as well, and he hasn't died yet.
Add one more crime to the list. That's a second item, Sky Piercer for Mr. Innocent.
So Hunter Strike in Sky Piercer. The jungler, Sutsujin, is racing Innocent. And I'll tell you now, the setup for Innocent is so much easier. There's a Feather Dare Strike, starting it up.
Two big resources, Sutsujin with the Quad Shadow back. He needs to go back in. Oh, the Windstorm finds him. Sky's in the back, looking for the play right now. Skylar goes in with the balls as well, but Innocent is still there. Diamond trying to get him down, but Innocent is too damn good. Rins goes in. AOG
coming in. Rins is gonna get punished here. Triple for Innocent.
How can you constantly just do this? Innocent, 5-0. Up against RRQ Hoshi. That's a shadow kill over the Sky. Sutsujin will get the assassination. A taunt over. Stormy with the wind blow.
Sutsujin is gonna bite it here. Cram makes sure he stays put underneath that windstorm. Mirko, one might speculate that maybe Innocent has a death note. And he just repeatedly wrote all 5 members of RRQ.
He has a death sonata. Something even better. On command, on demand.
A song.
Let's see. Raging Sandstorm under the turret. Innocent. Oh, doesn't even matter. Where did Dyron's HP bar go? Feathered airstrike over the Yums. At least they get something. But brother man, 4 kills. That is a crazy amount of Sky Piercer stacks. Almost with a fadeaway. Innocent. RRQ want to chase him, but they can't. They cannot.
Right now, RRQ's game isn't break SRG's base, it's dodge Innocent's bullets.
Oh my god, it's a mini game.
This man is packing heat. Bazookas in the left, bazookas in the right. And with 6, I'll assume 4 Sky Piercer stacks, right? 4 ticks of that. Stormy's also just building up. The fact that Stormy can just let go of his kit, as RRQ Hoshi make the approach, Innocent can clean up. So
okay.
Confirm 4.
4.
Got that right.
He's got 4 stacks in.
Approaching 400 Capriccio.
7 minutes.
Approaching 400 Capriccio, yes, and now the Malefic Roar built in. So even Edok, even Dyron is gonna reel.
And now this is great for Innocent. He can just participate in every single team fight. Skylar is so far behind on the Bruno. It's not even close when it comes to the damage that he could deal. Look at that, Skylar's already a quarter of his HP. Dyron walking up. It's going to be a sliding tackle to evade from Cram, but he's going to constantly just go for the chase. Oh, Riz gets sniped down again. Sky's in the back, Skylar with a slide tackle. Sky's electrifying beats, and they can't even punish Skies.
Look at the flicker coming in with Yums. Edok in trouble. Innocent gets another one. 3 for none.
19 kills was just a warm-up to Innocent. He's already almost halfway there. He wants 20.
He wants to break his own record in the same series on the same day. Oh, despite all this, whoa. What are those ticks?
What was that? Was that Stormy?
Well, he does not have the glowing wand just yet.
I think that was Lethal Ignition.
That could be. The fact that Sutsujin survived, so RRQ Hoshi have to start counting their blessings. SRG now up by about 1,000 and change. And these dirty engages from Cram, I'm gonna call them dirty engages from Cram and Yums, they're just doing enough chaos to RRQ's formation to scramble them to make them forget where Innocent is coming from, because Innocent is doing so well to throw bullets like this, and then look, he's gonna just either go all in or re-engage from a different angle, like that.
Defensive Raging Sandstorm. That was a show of dominance from Cram, the AOG. Just towards the lane, he's like, I got you. Sutsujin, oh, he's got to be careful. Look at that damage. Skies, he's 1, 2, and 6, but he doesn't look like he's dealing 1, 2, and 6 damage. He looks like he's dealing 6, 2, and 1 damage.
I think that's perspective. The fact that SRG are keeping it low to the ground and their farm is mostly on Innocent, the damage that Sekai's is doing with this very small kit is going towards a very soft RRQ Hoshi. Sutsujin bullied out of that bush. Holy Shield popped down bottom. And mid is just about to follow.
Windstorm! The snipe to the side! Dyron, quick sand guard. Able to body block for Skylar. That would have been Innocent's 9th kill of the game. That would have been another Sky Piercer stack to add onto it already. And by the way, Sutsujin, on the other side, we have someone doing really well with the Sky Piercer. Sutsujin has got nothing with the Sky Piercer.
One of those purchases is a regret right now. 3,500 gold up. I think RRQ Hoshi are going to keep themselves. There's AOG coming in.
That was a Windstorm. Raging Sandstorm to the back. Innocent trying to go for it. Again, dove on, but there's no one to follow it up. There is no feathered airstrike from Rins. He used it previously. And SRG just get themselves out of that Raging Sandstorm. Innocent using the flicker.
And now the choke. Watch as Sekai's... Oh, what? Sutsujin taken out with nothing to call his own. Cram and Stormy were about full health. Was he just trying to juke?
He was trying to play with Stormy. He probably knew that no one in their right mind would go back, but Stormy knew. He flickered out.
And that just gives Sutsujin another death, uncalled for. Unrelenting SRG here at the gates once more.
Oh man, the poke from the Veil is ridiculous. Stormy, an absolutely phenomenal performance, 0-1 and 6, but all you need to do on this Veil is play it clean. All you need to do is put the Windstorms when necessary, and then you let Innocent with, what, 60 Sky Piercer stacks now? Do the rest.
Look at that. He has built a glowing wand now.
And that's a bod.
A bod and a roar on Innocent. Whatever Cram and Yums are doing, just keep that up. If this is the pace that RRQ was not expecting to be at, because what, 3 or 4 minutes ago, they were still on the offensive. Now they understand that the firepower is undeniable from SRG. Look at that, Skylar's just playing footsies, and he's down about half health.
Oh, even more. Another shot from Innocent. Edux next. Seems like whoever walks up will just be caught by Innocent. There's just too much poke, too much range. RRQ gotta get a very decisive fight, but how? How do they even do that? How do they even walk in?
They catch one. Dyron here, forced to use the Raging Sandstorm defensively. Watch the angle that Sutsujin is coming at. Stormy keeping him honest. Pixel Brush empty. Cram finds an engage.
It's just a bit of poke. Again, for SRG, there is no reason for them to engage. They can just go in, walk out. They know Innocent's gonna out-poke RRQ every single time. And this is the slow game. They have a slow push up top. They'll just play with the poke again. Innocent throwing out Death Sonatas. Nothing to lose.
Check this. Dyron pushed out of that brush from Yums. And I think SRG's gonna commit to this. Lord down to 3/5 of its health. Yums throwing out that Earth Shatter. Innocent, long haul poke. Look at the position on Rins. Commits to it. Gets jumped on by Cram.
Oh, what a snipe from Innocent! He guns him down from the skies! Skylar next to the block, and Hassan is inevitable! Edok running for the hill. Sutsujin with a quad shadow. Yum trying to read it out again! Innocent finds the triple!
3 for none! Somebody stop this man! They're about to march in! And SRG can feel it!
No one can do it! He's too darn innocent! Sutsujin walking up, Dyron trying to do the same to Windstorm!
And that is one left, and that's a wipeout!
Another unofficial Savage for the Beast, for Innocent, as the Golden Road continues in Axiata!
The Immortal Giants stay on course! The Golden Road leads to where it all began. Silango Red Giants run through the Sang Raja in a 3-1 victory.
A cold performance. An innocent performance. Lock that in. That is the term you use for a gold lane performance like that.
At the cost of Skylar's promise to his old teammates. The journey for RRQ Hoshi ends here.
The Red Giants will stomp their way to Axiata.
Let's hear from LaFell, Steph Weezy, and Trex.
The Golden Road continues. RRQ was unable to stop Selangor Red Giants, and